Just when you thought it was over, better keep goals on different types of low. Keep your focus, feet below. Your hoe is an enemy, and so keep yourself cautious. Never see me strike like that. Y'all never ever been hit like that. I'm built like that, Hakeem like that. I'll never ever lose, I've been like that.
I was born to be at the pinnacle. I can't go back down, gotta win it all. Let everybody know I'm invincible. Not afraid, baby. Waiting for you. No matter what, I won't back down. I'm not afraid. I'm here and I ain't going nowhere till I reach the finish line. Won't give up, no, I will keep on fighting, winning right here by your side. Every second that I breathe is going down in history. We are victorious, can't stop me. Maybe today we'll fight our battles. I'll show you the way if you can handle it. You follow me. For you, no matter the circumstance.
racing experience. Wow, racing maps await you. The new racing template is online. Create your racetrack gameplay. Navigate the forest racetrack. Unleash your racing passion. Surpass your opponents. Become the king of speed. Unlimited speed. Ignite your passion for speed. Play WoW now.
The world converges. The race to be the one begins. The 2025 PUBG Mobile Global Championship will be held in Bangkok, Thailand from November 24th to December 14th. The ultimate stage where legends are forged and champions are crowned. Let's dive into this year's updated format. The journey starts with the Gauntlet, a high-stakes 3-day stage where momentum and pressure peak from day one. The top 7 advance directly to the grand finals. Teams ranked 8 through 16 head to the group stage. Also new, Rondo replaces Sandhawk in the map rotation, starting each match day. After the Gauntlet, the PMGC continues with Group Green from November 28th to the 30th and Group Red from December 2nd to the 4th. 32 teams are split into 2 groups of 16. In the group stage, the mission is simple. Finish in the top 3 of your group to secure a spot in the grand finals. Place 4 through 11 and you get one last chance to stay in the fight. Land in the bottom 5 and you're eliminated. Once the groups are over, the final 2 grand final spots are determined in the last chance stage. 16 teams compete over 2 days on December 6th and 7th with no room for error. Only the top 2 keep their dream alive. After the PMGC League concludes, it's time for the final fight. The grand finals, the best of the best. 16 PUBG Mobile teams, including the host country, invite. Prove they are the one. The epic conclusion takes place from December 12th to the 14th. Who will rise on the road to glory, claim the crown, and take the lion's share of $3 million prize pool? Who will write their names in history? The journey to greatness begins here. Welcome to the 2025 PUBG Mobile Global Championship.
I think he has a wife and a kid and he doesn't want to tell us.
Maybe. Who always die first? Someone else.
What was the question again?
Who always die first but then someone else?
Oh, yeah, it's me.
Who has the best end but the worst decision making?
yeah, it's definitely him. Worst decision making.
Who predicts the fastest in a messy fight?
Yeah. I don't think any of us play. Yeah. I would say this.
Wait, explain himself.
If someone is gonna need himself in a fight, it's one of these two.
Explain why me. Because you don't do anything.
Who never listens to the IGL but still survive somehow?
I mean, it's good, no?
Sometimes it's good.
Who talked the most during game? Who did unnecessary things?
Not unnecessary things. I only talk necessary things. Right?
Who complains the most?
This
Both
guy.
of them.
Yeah, come on.
Both of them.
No. I used to think I complain the most, but he's more than me.
There's a lot to complain, so.
He doesn't even wake up in the morning.
The most during the team game.
More of these two.
No, this guy, bro.
This guy.
This guy is a beast, man. If you have food left over, you just give it to him.
Who is the most hygiene person?
I would say him. He always put his cream, hand cream for the
yeah.
games.
Oh, hand cream is just so my hands smooth.
Who usually gets distracted in life or in play?
Distracted? His girlfriend always distracts him.
He doesn't miss one game each stream.
Bye bye. See you next time. Thank you for watching.
Onları çok vurduk grup aşamasında.
Biz olmadığımız için bence çıkma ihtimalleri çok yüksek. Soru geliyor. Merhabalar, ben Regun Karadan Saylas.
Ben de Reklam Paris Spor'san Loxi.
ครับผมโมเมนต์จากทีมเอียรีนาครับผมเทอร์นิเคครับจากเอียรีนาครับ
Hepiniz hoş geldiniz. Bugün PMGC Last Chance Prediction yapacağız. Evet, ilk takımımız Wolves Esports. Umarım iyi yaparlar. Sevdiğim insanlar var orada.
Bence 5'e koy ya. 5-6.
หมูกว่า10
Team Flash. Bence ilk iki potansiyelleri çok yüksek. Ben 3'e koyacağım onları. Ya da 4'e koyacağım.
My friend
IC ilk ikiye gireceklerini ben düşünüyorum ama çok fazla güçlü takımlar. Ben onları 6'ya koymak istiyorum.
I see ไม่ระหว่างนี่ไม่ชัวร์เอ้ยผมย้ายลูกพี่กูดีกว่า
Weibo. Bence aralarında en iyisi o. Ben çıkacaklarına inanıyorum. O yüzden 1'e koyuyorum.
โอ้โหว่าพอเกมมิ่ง
เอ้าเฮ้ยว่ะทุกคนเนี่ยของจริงคิงเอาไว้เลข2ดิเอาไว้ตรงกลางสิไม่อย่างนี้อ๋อโอเค
Genji. Sadece Satan'ı biliyorum oradan. 8'e koyuyorum.
เจนจี12ไหมอุ้ยแคมป์นะมีสน
Influence Rage. Bence onlar da iyi. Onlar da ya çıkarlar ya da 3. falan alırlar bence.
Evet.
Yani F
Wolves yine ve Brezilya takımı. Brezilya'nın eğimi bence çok iyi. Ama Brezilya'nın en iyisi değiller.
Archer. Bence grup aşamasında iyi oynadılar.
Alter Ego. Saçmalama.
Ben buraya koyacağım.
Ben çıkacaklarına inanıyorum ama dediğim gibi yine çok fazla kendini kanıtlamış ve çok iyi takım olduğu için 9'a koyuyorum ben.
เฮ้ยอะไรเฮ้ยนี่เลยโอ้โห
DG.
En son bir tane Myanmar takımını oralara koyunca ne olduğunu biliyor musun?
Ya koyacak bir yer yok. O yüzden buraya koy.
Team Falcon. İlk iki potansiyeli çok yüksek. Rauf'un oyun bilgisinden kaynaklı. Araya koymak istiyorum böyle.
ya
Evet.
Duelens.
Biz olmadığımız için bence çıkma ihtimalleri çok yüksek.
Onları çok vurduk grup aşamasında.
Bu IG ile BG'nin arasında koyuyoruz.
Şuraya.
ไม่ได้ว่ะโซฟี่อะ
Türk takımı. Yani yer kalmadığı için en alta koymak da istemiyorum. Bence 16'ya koyalım. Yanlış anlamasınlar. Başaracaksınız inanıyorum size.
ซับผมคิดว่าอ่ะ8นะ
Bence 2'ye kimi koyalım biliyor musun?
Bence Falcon 2'ye çekelim. Hayır bak şöyle yapalım.
Ver bana koyun. INF'nin yakınına koyun dedi. Soru geliyor.
สามทีมเพราะว่าโค้ชบอกอันนี้มีผลไม่รู้ยังไม่ได้ดู อันนี้ให้เสื้อไว้ อันนี้เพื่อนรัก
Bizim sıralamamız bu şekilde. Umarım herhangi bir takım bizi şaşırtmaz. Şaşırsa da herhangi bir şey değişmez bizim için.
ก็อย่าลืมไป expedition กันด้วยนะครับ เพื่อรับของรางวัลนะครับผม
Görüşmek üzere.
บ๊ายบาย
บ๊ายบายพี่จี
บ๊ายบาย
บ๊ายบาย
Miru Desamjen.
Миний тэгэхээр болоод хүрээдэг гэж заа.
Ano?
Ano?
Sa юу вэ нэ?
Тандо зэфэгэлэдин. Юу юм?
Бигээс финал хайхыг авсан.
Тийм үү. Бис Монday.
Авраг авч идэх авлаа. Бигээс
Баярлалаа.
баярлалаа. Я 3 удаа яг ногоон бүрэлдэхүүн авсан.
Дараагийн хэмжээний хизээ хэрэг.
Финал нь 12-ноос 14-ний хооронд. Miru Desamjen.
Миний тэгэхээр болоод хүрээдэг гэж заа. Ихтэй шүү заа.
За хайртай шүү.
Амжиж.
За. Баяртай.
Gördüm, tebrik ederim.
İzliyor muydunuz?
İzlemez miyiz?
Nasıl heyecanlı mıydı?
Nasıl titriyor? Nasıl titriyor?
Alo anne, sesin geliyor mu?
Alo, geliyor anne.
Ne yapıyorsun anneciğim, nasılsın?
İyi aşkım, sen ne yapıyorsun?
İyiyim ben de. Maçlar bitti. Öyle bizimkilerle
Gördüm anne. Gördüm, tebrik ederim.
İzliyor
aşkım.
muydunuz?
İzlemez miyiz anne?
Nasıl heyecanlı mıydı?
Nasıl titriyor? Nasıl titriyor?
Valla. Biz burada
Vallahi
çok bir şey yoktu ya, yaptık. Şükürler olsun, çıktık finale.
Ama aynen şükürler olsun. Hiç fark etmez.
Evet. Siz ne yapıyorsunuz?
Çok güzel.
Nasılsınız?
İyiyiz annemlerin yanındayız.
Ha,
Oturuyoruz.
iyi. Çok özledim sizi. Uzayı babam, abimi, seni.
Ben seni çok özledim annem.
Canım annem.
Şeyler ne zaman başlıyor finaller?
Finaller 12'sinde galiba. 12 sonunda galiba.
O kaç gün sürecek? 3 gün mü?
O da 3 gün, evet. Ona hazırlanacağız önümüzdeki süreçte.
Tamam annem.
Tamam,
çok
anneciğim.
böyle bir şekilde sakin oynayalım.
Tamam anneciğim. Var mı bir isteğin?
Yok aşkım,
Tamam
dikkat et
anneciğim,
kendine.
size çok dikkat edin. Çok seviyorum sizi.
Tamam, çok seviyorum ben de seni
Hadi
aşkım. Çok
anneciğim.
öpüyorum.
Hadi dikkat edin, görüşürüz.
Tamam görüşürüz
Bay
bebeğim.
bay.
Bay bay oğlum.
racing experience. Wow, racing maps await you. The new racing template is online. Create your racetrack gameplay. Navigate the forest racetrack. Unleash your racing passion. Surpass your opponents. Become the king of speed. Unlimited speed. Ignite your passion for speed. Play WoW now.
ngendok di tempat-tempat yang aneh. Siapa yang mati duluan terus suka nyalain orang lain.
Kadang ini kadang. Nih, dua nih.
Siapa yang lootingnya lama, rotasinya juga telat.
Banyak.
Siapa yang paling disiplin dan suka nge-screen?
Gak ada disiplin, gak ada.
Siapa tukang nge-clash bikin?
Semua.
Siapa yang ada air jago tapi chemistry-nya jelek?
Siapa ya?
Siapa yang paling bawel bikin?
Ya paling bacot sih dia sih. Paling bacot dia.
Siapa yang paling lucu?
Paling lucu. Aduh.
Oh ini
paling lucu nih.
Siapa yang kayak abang-abangan?
Semua abang-abangan. Semua.
Siapa yang paling kayak adik gitu? Orang yang langsung jaga.
Nih, kita sama
Moana berdua nih, berdua.
Siapa yang suka ketawain orang lain?
Semua ini ketawa di sana.
Siapa yang bukan komplain?
Gua.
Paling dia lah.
Rosemary.
Siapa yang paling susah bangun tidur?
Rosemary.
Siapa yang makan paling banyak?
Rian kayaknya deh.
Moana, Rian nih, dua nih.
Siapa yang paling bersih orangnya?
Paling bersih. Sumpah paling bersih.
Siapa yang paling gampang dan distraksi?
Siapa yang kadang anak-anak ada sih semua rata-rata.
Tapi semuanya
ada
ada.
semua.
Siapa yang paling banyak kan?
Oh
Masih Rian.
Itulah kita permainan kita tadi yang kalian udah tonton. Terima kasih banyak dan see you kita.
My name is Call77 and I'm playing for Team Falcons. Since 2018 when it came out, I started playing the first day. Maybe like a year after when the PMGC came out. So I practiced, I tried to get into a competitive team, but I was also like underage, so I couldn't play. To be honest, it's my mother the most, because she supports me and everything, and she watched more tournaments than I watch, and she knows more players than I do. So she always pushed me. At the start, like my parents were like, nah, finish the school, blah blah, but now they support and they watch even more than me, and they follow the competitive more than me. Yeah, she will be mad, and she will say, you have to do this, you have to do that. How can you not do this guy, blah blah. I think aim comes by like training, but the thing you cannot get like by training is mentality for sure. You just have to be strong in your mind. Like you need to understand that sometimes you need to lose, sometimes you're gonna win. Like most of the times you're gonna lose, but when you win, the wins ain't gonna come. You actually need to grind and you need to like give your life in this game so you can achieve something. When I joined the team, I had a little bit like problems with communications and this stuff, and they helped me fix it. To be honest, I feel ready, and I think team feel ready as well. Yeah, so the PMSL Europe was our first victory. We put in the hard work and everything, and we are really happy that we won it. Now we are hungry for the PMGC, and we hope we're gonna win it. I want to thank everyone who follows us and supports us. Also, guys, whoever wants to join competitive, you need to keep grinding. You can't stop if you want. And also, yeah, we came here to win, so get ready.
Gördüm, tebrik ederim.
İzliyor muydunuz?
İzlemez miyiz anne?
Nasıl heyecanlı mıydı?
Nasıl titriyor? Nasıl titriyor?
Alo, anne sesim geliyor mu?
Alo, geliyor anne.
Ne yapıyorsun anneciğim, nasılsın?
İyi aşkım, sen ne yapıyorsun?
İyiyim ben de. Maçlar bitti. Böyle bizimkilerle.
Gördüm anne. Gördüm, tebrik ederim.
İzliyor muydunuz?
İzlemez miyiz anne?
Nasıl heyecanlı mıydı?
Nasıl titriyor? Nasıl titriyor?
Valla. Biz burada çok bir şey yoktu ya. Yaptık. Şükürler olsun, çıktık finale.
Ama aynen şükürler olsun. Hiç fark etmez.
Evet. Siz ne yapıyorsunuz? Nasılsınız?
İyiyiz ancak benim yanındayız.
Çok özledim sizi. Uzayı babamın ağzını seni.
Ben seni çok özledim annem.
Canım annem.
Şeyler ne zaman başlıyor finaller?
Finaller 12'sinde galiba. 12 sonunda finaller.
O kaç gün sürecek? 3 gün mü?
O da 3 gün, evet. Ona hazırlanacağız önümüzdeki süreçte.
Tamam annem.
Tamam,
çok
anneciğim.
böyle bir şekilde sardım.
Tamam anneciğim. Bana bir isteyin.
Yok aşkım,
Tamam
dikkat et
anneciğim,
kendine.
size çok dikkat edin. Çok seviyorum sizi.
Tamam, çok seviyorum ben de seni
Hadi
aşkım. Çok
anneciğim.
öpüyorum.
Hadi dikkat edin, görüşürüz.
Tamam görüşürüz
Bye
bebeğim.
bye.
Bye oğlum.
Tonight, every moment is a battle with fate. Every rotation is a question. Every decision is a risk. And every mistake, a dream fading away. It's not just 2 tickets to the grand finals. It's not just 8 dreams trying to stay alive. It is 64 of the best players in the world fighting to reach the grand finals of the PUBG Mobile Global Championship. only 2 will rise. 14 will fall. No resets, no lifelines, no second chances on the final day of Last Chance.
The stage is set, the tension is undeniable, and now the reality sinks in. This is the cruelest cut in the entire championship. We aren't fighting for points anymore. We're fighting for survival. No lower bracket, no tomorrow, just 6 matches to make it to the grand finals. I'm Hot Jukes, here with Maxman and Neptura. Guys, this is serious business. Right after today, 14 teams are going home. Max, how are you feeling going into the last day of Last Chance?
I want to say I'm feeling excited, but I'm feeling scared because these teams, 14 of them, they're going home after today. It's going to be rough. And that intro was so epic from 7. It already felt like we're already in the grand finals here in Neptura. It's going to be intense. And at the end, only 2 more squads will be making it to our finals here in Bangkok.
Oh, I'm so nervous for all of these teams. We saw some great performances right out of the gate yesterday. We saw some not so good ones as well. So I'm just like, who is actually going to be able to do this? 6 games left until we have our complete lobby for the grand finals. Jukes, I'm just really nervous about today.
Oh, I mean, all these teams have to be here because, they have sacrificed so much, an entire year's worth of work just to get to this point right here, right now. And it's 6 games to decide your fate. You got to come out the gate swinging, Max, man, especially because we're going into Rondo. I need you to break it down for everyone out there, just how important this first game is.
This first game is going to be so important for literally every single squad, especially we did see during the interviews yesterday, everyone seems like they want to commit to the Rondo hot drop. And we're going to be seeing here, Test Track Neox Factory. You can see on the minimap, there's a big clump of teams over there. And it got so absolutely wild. And I'm not going to lie, Niptra, I think this is the biggest hot drop in PUBG Mobile esports history. And that could only happen here on Rondo.
It really could, and I don't disagree. I think this is the biggest one we've ever seen, and what a start to the Last Chance it was. I'm really hoping we see that again just for the pure entertainment value, but, it's not just that value that we're looking for as well. It's all those points that it's possible to get at the beginning of the first game. That is going to be a massive, massive boost in morale for any of these teams. We were looking at, Alter Ego winning that first game, and then, they're still top of the leaderboard coming into day 2. So any one of these teams that might have fallen off a little bit yesterday, Inner Circle, Falcons, Burmese Ghouls, Wolves, any of them could have a really good game, really good hot drop in this first Rondo and be set for the rest of the day.
Yeah, we had, 90 somewhat eliminations during that Rondo game, right? If we have an even bigger hot drop with even more teams involved here, maybe we could get and breach the 100 elimination game on Rondo, which would be magnificent. They're going on some of these later on clips on these replays. I know, Weibo, you want to talk about them a little bit later on here, Niptura, but that Miramar, the lack of scouting, the first one in particular, second one was good, but the first one, that did hinder their chances a little bit.
I'm so confused by that. I thought we knew by now that road is just you shall not pass road at any circumstance if the zone goes there. Yeah, because there's cliffs and all sorts, and no, don't do that. But anyway, we move on, right? We just hope that doesn't happen again. We move on, and we look forward to the next day as we see some epic shots coming through here. Influence Rage, another team, Jukes, that we would like to see a tiny bit more from. They're 2 points away from the top 2. They had a great day yesterday, but I just want to see just a teeny bit more, just a little bit more of that consistency, because I feel like as well they had some pretty rough games as well yesterday.
Yeah, you got to clutch it up here and now. I think these first few games are going to be the big deciding factor of who makes it and who doesn't, Max, especially when it comes to Rondo. To reiterate, right? We saw a crazy amount of hot drops on day 1. For me personally, looking at these leaderboards, Max, from 10th place on down, what do you have to lose at this point? Why wouldn't you send 3 players down to the center of the map and try your best to soak up some crazy points to make a crazy comeback happen, right?
Yeah, fully agreed. I think that if you're currently at the bottom of the rankings, this Rondo is going to be setting the pace for the entirety of this second day of Last Chance. And you know what? Yes, so many possible eliminations in the Ox Factory. Maybe you want to try and get involved in that conversation, try and snatch it away. Or maybe you can do like Team Flash, right, Niptura, which actually didn't get involved in the fight early on. They third-partied Neox after the fight kind of cooled off and just picked up a few eliminations here and there. So actually, if Team Flash go for a similar approach here, you got to be very careful because your back is never going to be safe going into Neox Factory.
No, that's a really good point, especially when, you know, you've just come off of a hot drop. Yes, you might have a lot of loot, but at the same time, you're wounded, you're trying to bandage up, you need a little bit of time to reset. And if a team like Flash timed that really, really well, that could spell the end of any of the teams that survived the hot drop. So it is really nice to see some teams be opportunistic in that way, and I wonder if we'll see more of that going into this first map.
But we got to keep in mind, Ultra Ego won the first rondo of yesterday. They're currently in the lead, healthy lead, 58 points currently. If they do it again, Hot Jukes, if we see another chicken dinner with maybe a few more eliminations this time on rondo, they're going to look so comfortable, so confident for the rest of today. So Ultra Ego, actually, this game, not really involved in that hot drop in Neox. And if they do get that chicken dinner, boy oh boy, Ultra Ego are going to be looking so bloody good for these 6 matches.
Oh, it could be a wrap in game number 1. Like, I'm not even kidding. I mean, we've seen so many points get soaked up here in Rondo. I mean, it's possible. It's possible, right? With how crazy it's going to be. I'll tell you what, there's 2 teams in particular that I'm really keeping my eyes on here, right? It's Burmese Ghouls and Weibo Gaming. You know that come Aaron Gale time, Weibo definitely going to bring it back.
I feel like we're trying to just steal Blank's vibe at this point. You know what? We're sitting the Burmese Ghouls too much with that deep voice. But no, Burmese Ghouls, you know what? I'm actually so impressed with this team because this is a team that I feel like some people had mild expectations with going into this PMGC season. And I feel like Niptura, they've just been getting so much more confident as every single game happens. And you can really see on the Rango, as you already said right there, Hodgix, they're looking so powerful. So, hey, Burmese Ghouls, keeping the hopes of Myanmar alive once again and making it to the grand finals would be one hell of an achievement.
It really would, and I feel like as well, this is one of the good things of actually going through every single stage, right? Because if they had gone straight to finals, I don't think they would have done as well as if they can go through last chance and go to finals that way, because the confidence we've seen out of them growing and just then getting far more comfortable has been really, really nice. You know, put that up as upside of Weibo. I feel like actually this is the flip side, is Weibo have struggled having to go through all of the stages. I feel like, honestly, like we were talking about it, right? It's like, what is going on with them? Because they're super inconsistent, but when they have a good game, they have a really good game. They show us how smart they can really be. And I really honestly feel like it's a second guessing of the IGL, because the players can rally as long as he makes those decisions really quickly. But you can see where the decisions come really, really late. And even though the execution of those decisions is good, it's either the wrong decision or they just come way too late. So I really hope that Weibo are able to actually just kind of rally a little bit and get on with it and get those decisions done. Go with your gut.
I know what the issue is with Weibo, guys. I've cracked the code. Is the fact that they only get second place. The Sook curse is real. They only get second place. Weibo, no, if they can get a win, Hot Jukes, they're qualifying. They need to break the curse right now in the last chance.
Oh, let's see if they could do it. But you know what, guys? Before we get started, we got to give a big thank you, of course, to the Infinix GT30 series, the official gaming phone of PMGC 2025. Engineered for precision, performance, and victory. Empowering every gamer to hashtag be the one and hashtag outplay the rest on the global stage. Thank you, Infinix, everybody putting this together. It's been a long road to get here, and we only got 6 more matches left. And you know, we've been talking about it from the get-go here, how important these first few games is, Max, because if we see a couple teams create such a large point gap, it is going to demoralize this lobby towards these last few games entirely, right? So one thing I'm really looking forward to is seeing the adaptability of squads, right? I don't want to just see teams like play the normal game and hope for the best. I want to see them adjust their performance to try and get top 2, because it's top 2 or nothing, right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, actually, I'm really happy you bring up that topic about adaptability. One team that I want to see adapt a little bit more in a significant fashion is Loops. Great first day, right? Currently in 4th position. But they're all about the eliminations. And you know what? Eliminations alone aren't going to carry you to victory. They're not going to punch your ticket for the grand finals. Loops, more late game finishes. Top 5s would just make me so happy for Loops. I mean, Rafino was an MVP yesterday, which is unexpected for me at least, Niptura. So Loops, if we see them increase that survival time just a little bit more and keep fragging out the way they were doing in day 1, I think top 2 is definitely in the cards for this squad.
I really agree with that. I want to say as well, you know, another team I'm kind of looking for is going to be sort of Inner Circle and Wolves. Falcons as well, they get an honorable mention here because Falcons and Wolves, both of them had a really great Miramar in one of the Miramars, but the rest of the games, we didn't see that much from either of the teams, and so I'd like to see just a bit more presence. I think that's something I keep repeating over the stages, but it's true, right? You want to see this presence in these games in the late stages because it's not necessarily aggression that we're looking for, because we don't want you to be rash with it. We don't want you to just go in guns blazing and that's it, right? We want you to have presence. It's aggression in how you challenge teams and how you maneuver teams and how you set yourself up in the circle. It's not always aggression, meaning just pushing teams. So for me, presence is a huge factor. And so far, we haven't seen that much from Falcons, Wolves, or Inner Circle, which is crazy to say because Inner Circle, I feel, when they play very well, has some of the best presence we've seen globally. So for me to have to say, hey, Inner Circle, you need to step up the presence game here is really strange for me to say, but it's true, especially in this final day.
I mean, actually, you bring up a few of those teams, Inner Circle in the Hot Drop in Neox, Team Falcons also in the Hot Drop in Neox, right? So those are teams that they could be, unfortunately, still not present after that Rondo game, depending on how it goes. Of course, hopefully they'll go for the 3-1 split. You know what? I want to quickly talk about Team Falcons. They've had an amazing Miramar. Sure, not quite a win because Wolves just stole it away in a very odd fashion, but who could predict that, right? The circle kind of screwed them over. But a second place, 16 eliminations, and Novalo said it during the interview, right? It was off the back of a very early pivot from their western drop right into the northern side of Los Leones. And by doing so, they don't lose players. And this has been my biggest gripe with this team, Niptra, is that they keep losing just one player, sometimes two players on that transition. I don't know if it's an IGLing issue or if there's like, they just have a small amount of scouting done during the rotations, but losing those players hurt them so much that the one time they have the full squad in the late game finish, Niptura, is their biggest game of the tournament. Come on, Falcons, we know you can do it. More of that, please.
Well, yeah, exactly. And it's something we saw from other teams, right? Like Virtus Pro comes to mind, for instance, that kept losing players early on. And then when they had all four, they were actually doing really, really well. It's the same story for Falcons. And it would be really nice to maybe just adjust some of those rotations, or maybe don't go for those risky rotations. Maybe rotate a little bit more compactly, speedily, you know, go quickly to zone. I think if you hesitate a little too much in this lobby, it's got this weird balance of, you know, playing for position and also being very aggressive this lobby. It's very different from the group red that we saw, for instance. So I feel like maybe just having those quicker rotations and rotating a little bit more together would be much better for them.
Yeah, well, we definitely need to see those little adjustments, right? Especially from the top 9 teams, because they could definitely make it into top 2. Now, I just do want to preface this, right? When it comes to the 10th place team Alliance, they're currently 25 points behind second. So for 10th place on down, this is do or die, match number 1, right? If we don't see a 10th place team, Max, on down win this Rondo, it's over for them, right?
Yeah, you want to, again, it's dependent on, do you want to try and just get into the late game and get a win and a lot of placement points, or do you want to go full crazy aggro mode and go into Neox? I know I sound like a broken record. I mention Neox every 2 seconds, but it is going to be a huge opening factor for the second day. And if a team gets, you could literally have a team that get 10 plus points in minute 5, which is wild to imagine.
You absolutely could. It's going to be a crazy thing to see if a team can pull it out the bag. The other thing we don't want to see very quickly is, you know, teams actually targeting those solos on the 3-1 split and Rondo, right? That would be huge, and it'd be a great strat for certain teams. And so I think a lot of these teams are going to have to really think about that going into Neox.
Well, let's see what's going to happen, folks. First game of the last day of Last Chance, it's Rondo. Are we going to see the craziest hot drop in esports history? Or will these teams let fate decide? John Allen and Blake, let's see.
Oh, it's feeling toasty today. Hot Jukes over on the desk. Thank you so much for leading us in. Guys, the analyzing is done for now. We'll be getting back into it. Maybe they need to analyze how I can say that one better. But Test Track, Neox Factory. Let's analyze that. I promise I could say that word. It's like, sound like I'm trying to say pineapple in various European languages. Oh dear. Oh, I think
there you go. You're actually absolved of all of that. You're absolved of all of that. Yeah, you're absolved of all of that. Yeah.
Okay.
It just sounded like you're fine with yourself. What happened there was basically like a small raccoon came to my room and just like wrapped himself around the mic. It was not my fault.
Let's talk about the hot drop because it's happening right now. We can talk about your raccoon later because Arcred drop it onto Neox Factory. They're popping off on the rooftops already. It is going to stay toasty here. Ramsey's around the corner, finds the first with the auto shotty as well. Pops the reload, looks for more, but is set down across the way. Hardboy wants to control the angle, may be able to find the defense on his teammates. Loops are here as well. Weibo wants to play the top of the tables, all desperate for that Ascension and Snowix. 2 more rounds, 1 more shell. Not gonna matter. Pick up a resupply there. Is able to finish off 2 points early for the Boars. But Weibo in a circle. Geeke, Loops all sit around this area.
You can see though the flash, they didn't care for it. They did not care for it. So it was still a pretty big hot drop. Not the hugest we've seen, but still a lot of teams dropping here. And it seems to be teams and squads that really want to shake things up a little bit. Weibo is definitely an interesting one. I think Weibo is probably the more interesting out of all of that. It's very rare to see Weibo actually drop towards Neox. So a little bit of extra aggression from this team is curious. Now, yesterday, if they were watching back the games, they would have seen that the Flash actually got quite a lot of points off the back of Neox Factory, just as like a solo or a duo who were just holding out players as they attempted to leave from Neox. They are now just down to Order, but I think that if you want anyone, it will be Order.
Yeah, and they'll be getting themselves back up very, very quickly off on the recall. Meanwhile, Wolves over on the northwest side of all of this chaos, close towards Test Track. Doran on the inside. No elims yet, but are not found. Not going to find the rest, though. And that's going to be Geeke can get back up to 3. The Wolves denied an opportunity to earn some points in a circle, losing another. The Boars doing pretty well so far on this hot drop blank. They've got 4 elims on the cards. And Seven actually has highlighted something very interesting about this hot drop. He's put in our group chat, the 7WG, by the way. We're in a group chat together. No big deal. But the Falcons, they've backed off this hot drop.
Yeah, they opted not to go for it. They headed down towards the southeast side, towards Tuling. And I mean, to be fair, the Falcons have been losing this multiple times. So why risk it? Try and just play that late game. I think that the Burmese schools, right, they're in 6th place. They're doing fantastically well from that position. How to find this Elim? That's the real question. But I think Falcons need to play more like the Burmese Ghouls. I think you play to your strength, and Burmese Ghouls' strength is that as a 4, they're really good. They can close out end games. I think Falcons are kind of similar. Burmese Ghouls, you don't see them hot dropping anyone because I don't think that they're extremely confident in their 4v4s and in closed spaces. But when it comes to controlling area, I think they love to do that. So yeah, I think for the Burmese Ghouls, they make the right choice there to continue playing like that. And Falcons, if they are able to emulate, they'll do well off the back of it.
That will hopefully be able to see them a little bit closer. They had that massive game at the end of yesterday on their Miramar. Did come second in the end. This Noki goes down to a spray. Ragnarok able to win it out. Geeke doing pretty well. Boars doing pretty well. Teams like our teams towards the bottom profiting the most right now, but with Loops on 1, oh dear, they're stuck in this hot drop blank. This is nasty. Loops in 3rd place right now, but they've got a lot of Geeke bearing down upon them. They've overcommitted potentially to this hot drop.
Yeah, it's a big overcommit. It's probably come from the fact that a player on the outside got knocked down. And this is the risk you run a lot of times. Even if you go for the 3-1, there's a risk that your player on an outpost does get taken out. And on Neox Factory, I think a lot of teams are kind of willing and understanding that likely all 3 of their members are going to die in that location. It's very rare you win that out. And if you do, I think you also understand that you also got a little bit lucky to win that out.
Kevin challenge in a circle. Are going to win it though. They are still as 4, and actually IQ still stepping in the Neox factory. The rest of IQ, they're all the way out on the northwest side. Blank, they've got a recall out to the northwest side of the circle, so it is just IQ seeing how many points he can get. Team Flash also racking up 1 or 2 against Influence Rage. This is after a rotate as well. The recalls might be a little bit shabby, but Team Flash going to keep themselves nice and topped up. But Gen.G around the corner. In the meantime, though, it's still, in my mind, all about what Loops are going to do here, with Vitinho wanting to stay alive, probably more than anyone else right now on these hot drops. Weibo?
Yeah, that is crazy. I was going to say that Alter Ego fall into the trap of letting Rosemary die first again, but there is an immediate clap back from the rest of the squad over towards Weibo, which gets a little bit awkward now, right? Where you have order, and I think that the rest of the players, that they were quickly rezzed, actually, on Weibo's side. Not sure about Alter Ego, though. I think because they diverted, they are struggling now.
A nade in from Vitinho, again, looking for order. Finding these last few stragglers in Neox factory would be brilliant. He's able to find another. The rest of his team are now back. Where did that recall come from? Okay, sneaking that one on through. Loop's able to stay up as 4, and that is huge news for them. We're going to cut over towards the Gen.G fight with Team Flash right now. Both teams have got an outpost, not committed to this fight, but Claws coming in actually commits Gen.G fully to this engagement. With just tops remaining, though, you've got to think this is probably going to go well for them. They may lose 1, they may lose 2. But they can't afford to do so. Tops hopping around on the pagoda, looking for the shots down the stairs. It's lined up, and it will be Tops going down. Flash with 1 on the outside. They're going to send out for those recalls.
Bozo can see if he can catch a player lacking, maybe being a little bit lazy on the hold there. The rest of the Flash are going to get their players back in action. Already got a boatload of points. Taking down the majority of Influence Rage, not before they got that recall off. That's all the way towards the eastern side of the map, though, so a little bit of a longer rotate for Influence Rage because of that. I do think that the Flash would like to reclaim this position, and I think that the players are much closer than Gen.G maybe assumes.
They are back up. For Team Flash.
Correct.
Staying as 4. Vitinho, we're back on board with him, and he's still got his teammates, but he wants to keep scrapping it out. He's on 4 elims already. Well, the team is on 4 elims already, and the nade should bring them up to 5. I don't think Geek are going to be able to get this res. It's quite a long path, and the cross is treacherous. He's out in the open, though. Oh, just about makes the cross, has to hit the deck right behind it, but crawls away. Doesn't quite connect to the cover, and a little bit overzealous on the run out there. A nice pickup for Geek.
There's a great fight going on, by the way. Is that the Flash actually do find the shots over towards Gen.G, and Gen.G were caught slacking there. In the meantime, the rest of Flash are also taking a fight with Papra Supermassive. So the Flash is putting up points left, right, and center, currently in 2nd place. So definitely trying to redeem themselves from their Group Red performance, because they did perform very well. I think that they slowed down quite a bit towards the end of that tournament, but I also do feel bad for them on that final game where Weibo essentially sees them, realizes that's their only hope, and they were suddenly injected with this warrior's will to take down the Flash. Ended up being E-Arena able to get ahead of both of them just because of how focused Weibo was on taking down the Flash.
A team that's closest to getting eliminated right now is Papra Supermassive. With the circle shifting southwest, Kamikaze is trapped between Inner Circle and Boars. He is probably going to be able to make it out, but it's going to be dangerous on this northwestern edge. 1 player left, and he's darting out for a recall. In the meantime, Team Flash still hunting down. Azias draws short. The momentum on the vehicle, not quite there. Loops, again, getting those recalls on board, but Kamikaze for Papra Supermassive yet to pull his team back to their full 4. Not too sure what he's diverting for. Maybe worried there's a player camping out on that recall, or wants to go for a different one, potentially on the western side. In the meantime, Zia's still under pressure. Will go down. Sprays from Claws, and neither team can get away from one another right now on the northeast side.
Yeah, definitely struggling. I mean, it's kind of a back and forth here where Gen.G's able to catch the Flash, and then suddenly the Flash is able to catch Gen.G. Both of them not quite respecting one another enough. Those Doesn't quite find the first shot, so to back off. There's a nice tag on the side of the car there. Will immediately go for the flush, and that's the correct play. Does limit the Flash's potential. There was also a shot down the hill, which leaves Zeus high and dry, and now Win needs to send out very quickly. If they can get ahead of this, though, they can get over towards Bamboo and actually pick themselves up the recall in front of Genji. But they've got to be quick.
That's what they're doing right now. Win is already on his way. Genji not quite close enough to stop it. EK, they've got 6 elims so far, Blank. As the recalls do come through for Papara Supermassive, they were branching out to the recall just northwest of Yaotin. And they will play in there rather than playing up from the northwest side. I suppose you know there's a lot of teams around the area. You want to rotate further south. Why not do it as one? Save the damage from the blue zone for the rest of your roster. Playing on that side. Circle. On your screens, you could see there's the recalls for Team Flash on the northeast side. And Genji do need to be careful on their step-in. Will not be free of danger for them. We'll see where we're going to go. A little bit closer to Stadium. Alliance in the middle. Alter Ego. Control. A recall beacon inside the zone. That is a pretty powerful spot.
It's great for Alter Ego, and it's going to be great for picking up stragglers as well. There isn't all that many in this squad at the moment. We have 64 players, which I know, very surprising considering the amount of limbs we've seen go through on our screens. Weibo is rotating off towards the western side of this ridgeline. Fair enough to them. And the Burmese ghouls once again taking advantage of this big old stone pillar, which seems to be like a lot of teams are starting to realize how strong these things are. Very good at isolating sightlines. You can also wrap around it multiple times. The only trouble is that sometimes you open up sightlines from other squads, but it can be a very fantastic teamfight tool. So they are backing off. Godspeed does have an anchor off towards the eastern side of the circle. It is in the fields. To be fair, I've not really talked about this too much, but we are heading over towards the fields, by the way. We still have Stadium in play over on that north side, which has a recall beacon right in the center of it. It's a bit awkward to get in there to get that done as a solo. But right now, yeah, I think the fields are such a tremendously awkward area to play. Alter Ego is attempting to contain more than, I think it's 2 compounds right now. I believe it's 2 compounds that are holding around the recall beacon. So they have the majority of control. This could be a great game for Alter Ego.
I mean, and what a time to have it as well, with the top 2 spots so hotly contested. Remember, there's only 6 matches to play today. Getting a massive dent in your tally would be brilliant. That is what teams will be looking for. Big matches here. And for a lot of teams towards the bottom, right? Obviously, with Alter Ego being a center point, we're talking about them. But for a lot of teams towards the bottom, this is the last chance to come up big in a match and jump up to even give yourself an opportunity to chase towards the top 2 spots. I mean, for Kike, 6 elims at the start. It's great, but they need to get, 20 pointers here in order to jump back into competition. It's just not happening in my eyes, though. It's really not. And on the east side, they're going to have a tough time pushing past both Burmese ghouls and Team Flash.
I think my biggest issue right now is that the Flash has 6 elims, Alter Ego has 4, and a strong spot. And the Flash, I feel like they're not slowing down, they're not stopping. They're starting to cut ahead. Even the teams that I think would be chasing is like Weibo, for instance, and they've got that strong position over towards the western side. Great shots from Flash again. Bose takes down Kevin. Geeke kind of backed off that position on the northeast side now. Definitely struggling. Even Burmese Ghouls getting involved over towards Geeke. But yeah, I think the Flash is just getting ahead. And as our Alter Ego, I think Alter Ego maybe even gets the chicken dinner in this game. In which case it becomes so difficult. Because even the teams that are down towards the bottom looking to chase upwards, they're not in the best spot to do it. That is rough. That's a very hard shift. But even so, Weibo in a circle, 2 teams that are towards the top of the tables anyway. I think the bottom of the tables are just sort of bowing out now.
Maybe. Geeke, though, going out with a bit of a bang against Team Flash on this one. 6 elims found. Pretty decent stuff from the hot drop, and giving Team Flash a run for their money, actually getting an elim there. Team Flash not going to be able to get a recall on this one. Rotating over to Stadium feels like a bad move, and playing on as 3, not great, but 9 elims, Blank, and you can't say fairer than that. We'll see if Alter Ego are able to transition into this circle, and I think that is the major change of dynamic. And actually, Falcons are ahead of the curve on this rotate. They're getting in there nice and quick. Oh, maybe into the wrong place, though.
Yeah, I mean, you're attempting to just kind of get ahead of the curve here. But for the Falcons, this was very much what I would like to call an alter ego push there, right? Or an inner circle push. And you just send it sometimes. Sometimes it doesn't work. In that case, it absolutely did not work. We're down to one player on a sliver of HP. It's awkward.
Arcred, Mapra Supermassive, again, two middle pack teams clashing at the moment. Arcred definitely in the driver's seat of this fight. Easy for Bad Boy. Ooh, takes a lot of damage from the nade, but not nearly as much as Glory. Kamikaze with the nade. Last player to stand for Mapra Supermassive. He was able to pull them all back up earlier on, but will it all be for naught against Arcred here? Easy for Bad Boy. Ramses playing the rock. Kamikaze has the info from his down teammates. There's a player up top, but he can't handle it. Too confusing. And Loops are here to party too. Easy for Bad Boy, you can't waste any time now. Loops are going to run you straight over, protect their position on the table and try and catch up to Team Flash, who are streaking out to a lead.
Ramsey's backing off here, but is going low on the sidelines. Some great nades at the moment from Loops. But it is 9Z Globe and also joining in onto this one. Alter Ego finding shots over towards the Burmese Ghouls. That's with two players as well. That's a really fantastic hold from Alter Ego. It's very rough for them.
Nades over the loop from 9ZG. Ravinia caught out on the smoke peak there, able to find the back of an enemy. Spray down at range with the auto shot. He turns in for more. There's an off angle. He's all a 360 spin right now, but only just about able to be handled. Remix now looking for the challenge, and Loops may be drawn short. The picture is with the Burmese Ghouls and Alter Ego on the bottom right of your screen. Is Fittin jumping on through, and Arcred able to find the last player of Loops. They will fall down. The chase is stopped short, and Arcred the ones to do so. 9ZG as well played their part. It's a lot of teams towards the tops who are straggling. It's all really up to Weibo to catch Team Flash as Alter Ego have fallen.
Yeah, Burmese Ghoul able to get the final point. Again, I think that it's greedy. It is classic Alter Ego greed. They send a 2-2 split. They leave two behind over towards that building, hoping to catch players coming in. They send two up front to try and challenge for Weibo's position. It was too much. It was way too much for Rondo as well. It's likely by the time you get in towards this end of the game, it's going to be four-man squads. You're not going up against two-man squads like you would in Erangel. It's four-man squads that will be coming in. There aren't really stragglers at this stage of the game. They're usually cut out around stage 3, stage 4. When you get to this point, it's the survivors of the lobby that are coming through to battle you out. So I think for Alter Ego, there was two options there. There was option one, which was to fully send it over towards Weibo, try and control that eastern side position, knowing they're likely having a split over towards the west, or you hold all four over towards the building on the east. They did neither. Again, it is happening too frequently now that I'd like to see. I think we've complained about it so many times. Even Alter Ego know it exists, know it's a problem. Why is it still happening?
And they still get 8 points on the match, though, Blank, and that may be enough to just keep them ticking over. The question is, how far can Weibo go? Because they are in command right now. Center position on this circle, controlling a lot of the open area in the circle with that chance as well on the western side with a decent chunk of it. I don't think Burmese Ghouls make it out. It's a question of who picks up the rest of these points. Can anyone stop Team Flash from earning double digits, going even further beyond than that, breaking their limits? On that northeast side, though, they do still have to push in, and they do, crucially, only have 3.
Still possible, though. Still very possible. I think for the Flash, the amount of times they've gone down this game, and the amount of times they've picked themselves back up again, it's actually quite admirable how far they've got into this one. And with 9 elims, no less. Weibo, though, genuinely from this spot, if they continue playing smart and playing clean, they could vault towards the top side of the table. Depends how quickly Flash get there, though.
Flash on the double digi, looking for the elims. Wolves looking for more as well. They will hold the run out from Gen G, who are eliminated. 2 knocks, but that's not really going to be capitalized on here. Inner Circle thought maybe, oh, we'll go for a third party. Team Flash actually running up into this is probably a wise decision. Wolves will still be a little bit lacking, might be the softest fight they'll find, and actually getting ahead of them is great, but the healing is going to start, and they need to be faster. They need to go a little bit quicker here, and the time is starting to run low. There's third party shots coming down from the boards as well, out to their east side. Bows waste no time. Pops is clipped on the sidelines. There's angles. There's just not going to be anything, though, for them to find, and 10 points will be what they see on their tally at the end of this one. 66 and 64 are top 2 teams sit, but Weibo looking to mount their assault.
Yeah, that's so sad for the Wolves. Like, what is Flash doing over the ruining Wolves' game? That's a straight up Virtus push. I did not like that. I did not like that at all. Weibo, on the other hand, oh my god, things just opened up in a big way for them. Like a real treasure chest right at the center of the circle. They are staring at the goal. The question is whether it's cursed or not at this point in time, because they've still got to make it through and win that chicken dinner, which seems to be a little bit of a difficulty for them.
They're on 8 elims right now. Blank puts them on 57 points, leaving them 7 points shy of Team Flash. So it is an elim extra and a second place, or a full chicken dinner that would see them over that boundary. And they are really still looking pretty solid here. You imagine they're going to be able to farm some points from Boars on the north, potentially, from Alliance on the east, maybe. Looking out on the south side, there's a hunting ground out there too, because Federal, the Lone Ranger for Influence Rage, trying to keep them in the running, as well as 9ZG, the full squad. Going to be looking for a rollout too, so points to be earned here for Weibo.
If you asked me yesterday about midway through the day, I would have told you that it's very unlikely we're seeing a second PEL team getting in towards the grand finals. But I think genuinely right now, it looks possible. Weibo's being a lot cleaner this game. Less mistakes seem to be happening here, and they are focused. They look laser focused on this match. Very, very clean fights, very clean holds on the areas that needed to be looked towards. I think right now, I like this 3-1 split they're going for. I think they understand there's a lot of teams that want to work their way through on that south side, so they can deal with that first.
Our creds, yeah, they're going to go down there. And the placement points start to kick in now. For all our lone survivors, that's potentially big news. Single points can make all the difference. Influence Rage lose their final player. We were wondering how long he was going to stay alive, and Federal will draw short from 7th place. Our Brazilians still next to each other on the tables. Alliance picking up another point, and again, the placements start to stack up, but Weibo yet to get another elim so far. Boars and Alliance in a bit of a deadlock, though, on the northern side, and Inner Circle could change all of this, Blank.
I mean, Inner Circle being on the west here, we haven't talked about them too much, but they hold a pretty strong position. I like that Noki's already moved up. I think Noki doesn't get enough credit on the team. I think a lot of people focus on Falak a lot, but I do think that Noki is an insane player. On a solo angle as well, he can be so tremendously problematic for a lot of squads, where you can get 1 or 2 elims before you even tag a shot onto him. So Noki being this close to Weibo does worry me a little bit.
Made over the top, and they are looking to rack up these elims up to 9 now. A second place would draw them even. Order with the challenge, 33Z goes down. Order taken out as well by a nade, and 9ZG not going down without a fight, but Colligoat steps on a landmine there, goes up, and Sook is able to land it. But the sprays are coming through, and Weibo have lost a player now. Inner Circle starting to take command here, Blank. Maybe it's not just one team looking to jump up into top 2 here. Inner Circle still with that chance. 2 more elims and a chicken dinner would draw them level as well.
Oh my days.
And they found Sook.
So annoying. So it's happened so much with Weibo. It's unbelievable. Where they'll just keep walking out into the same angle that they just got shot from. And it's happened too much that I will forgive it anymore. It's happened before. I'm like, that's the heat of the moment. That's the heat of the moment for the boys. They're struggling. But it's just happening again and again. Funnily enough, it's happened the most versus Inner Circle as well. This is a great push from Inner Circle. Easy peasy. And like I said, Noki finds 2 before you even know it's happened. And I am proud of the boys from Inner Circle here. This is a great push. They absolutely deserve the win off the back of that. That's a nasty nade from Olio, though.
Might have been able to catch that one coming, but I think he had his eyes on the inventory there. The Weibo curse. The focus on the boxes a little bit too much, but Alliance can't push over because of IQ's position, because of the backup that sits there, and because of the boars, keeping them crunched in. But the boars have to move now. The blue zone's going to start to move. Havlik breaking out wide. A push forwards. The fight for the middle of the tables, trying to move up. Boars on 8 elims already blank. Alliance only on 3. The boars could make a massive dent in their approach as well, with a big game here. So a lot of moving parts. And teams that were really on last chance saloon, in with a shot. A big nade for Snoix to open it up. Exo pulls out wide, a nade goes high for Alliance. One goes short as well. The first knock onto Snoix is there, and they step out. Get a little bit too far forwards, though, and the burn bites them back. The boars kept on the crunch as Jimmy bleeds out, sure, but this is a solid hold from Alliance. Boars a little bit trepidatious, nearly finding more, but the healing desperately needed now.
I mean, this is a hell of a swing out coming through from Inner Circle as well. They are finding a lot of points off the back of this. They instantly started wrapping wide off the back, and look at that. All the points are going through to Inner Circle, and they are just shooting up the leaderboard with this one. Falak's finding that, actually finds all of them. T24 is down, but there's an immediate refrag coming through from Falak here. 16 elims on the game. Oh my goodness me, Inner Circle.
What a shutdown from Inner Circle. They controlled it so well. Weibo re-peaking too bold, and they were ready for it. They took the shots, they took them down, and they kept the pressure going. What a massive, important game for Inner Circle. That's going to push them. I think that's going to put them into the top 2. I think they will have put themselves there, and that is exactly what they wanted to find. Team Flash pushed aside. That is going to feel nasty at the top, but the race is on. 2 spots left, and that is how you make your challenge for them.
Again, for Weibo, it's just lax, though. It's just lax. You re-peak the angle on the south, even though you're getting shot from the west. Why were we doing that? It makes no sense. Like, surely you check that angle first. I really want to know what the guys at the desk thought about that game, but Inner Circle, what a way to finish things out on Rondo.
Circle, are you kidding me? 17 elimination chicken dinner off the rip. That is how you start the last day in the last chance. Neptura, break down this historical start for Inner Circle today.
I love this team so much, Jukes! I love Inner Circle so much for this very reason. Look at the control they had on this Inner Circle, on this final circle here, the zone. They were able to push everybody out to the zone, really careful with their angles. That 3-1 split coming in really clutch there, using IQ as their anchor point, just able to just push everybody out to that blue zone, make them panic, make them not have time to make any decisions for themselves. They were just controlling from start to finish. I love this from the Max.
I want to echo a point that Blank had earlier on in this tournament about Inner Circle, which is we were seeing Falak pop off, we were not seeing the rest of the team. T24, 6 eliminations. Noki, 3 eliminations. IQ, 3 eliminations. This is the Inner Circle we were waiting for, and they have showed up big on this Rondo game. And you know what? The good rotations, down to the recall, right? Neptura, they had the recall from T24 OP next to Bailey, northwest of Rondo. And that allows them to avoid any big early to mid-game skirmishes to get control of this open area on the west of these finishing circles. Oh my goodness, like the entire setup was just so well executed, like a well-oiled machine. Yeah. And they wrap it up well. Like the third parties at the end there, beautiful.
What I love so much is that how careful it all was, right? They didn't full send anything. They used the terrain to their advantage. They made sure that they were able to just get exactly what they needed without any risk themselves. I love that from them. And I just love as well what we saw here is like they were backing off of the hot drop as well, like just well backing off, making sure that they had exactly what they needed and weren't getting too caught up in those big fights. So I really appreciate that from them, and they were able to actually be able to set up a much better game for themselves without all of that.
Yeah, I mean, this game was just amazing. You know what? I said it already. I wish we had 2 rondos per day, man.
Oh,
These
so
matches
bad.
are so fun. I know everyone's been like, oh, which one rondo in esports? And now I see everywhere people are like, yeah, Rondo is actually really fun to watch. It's actually really good. But yeah, in some of these plays, actually this Wolves push, we saw there was Genji pushing onto it, then the third party coming in from Team Flash. I love that play from Team Flash, but I mean, Hot Jukes, Wolves, that fight, not using a single player in that engagement was literally so unexpected.
Yeah, I mean, it was so clutch for them there. It's just right there towards the end. After all that fight is said and done, they try to stand her up with a circle, and Weibo just had such a beautiful position on the high ground there. 27 points, though, from Inner Circle. I'm telling you, all this team needs is to get 4 players in the final circle. And they're going to make it happen here, guys. They were in 7th place, Maxman, before the day started. With 27 points, this is going to, like, take them to infinity and beyond. That is insane.
Yeah, the demons from Pakistan have arisen in this. Well, it's not the Ghouls, but you know what? Well, I can steal that and use it for Inner Circle this one. But you know what? We're talking about the big squads at the top of the leaderboards getting points. Inner Circle, Weibo, Flash, you know, of course, some really good double-digit games. But Boar, Niptura, they were standing in 11th position before this match, 25 points. This game alone puts them in reach of a top 2 position if they keep getting good points on board. So, Boar's perfect timing to get a decent game here.
Yeah, really nice from them. Again, I mean, it goes along with the lines of what we were saying, right? That Rondo is kind of the make or break game for the rest of the day. And I really enjoy seeing Boars take advantage of that and go, listen, this is the only map that we get a second chance. You know, we get do-overs if something doesn't go quite right. We get that recall. So let's just go for it. I love to see that from the Boars. Hopefully we see that in the next few games as well. But you see the MVP, I mean, it's got to be Phallic. Of course it has to be. 5 eliminations, 11, nearly 1,200 damage on his own. I mean, that just goes to show you he was farming teams left, right, and center.
Look how he's just looking into that camera right now.
I know.
He scares me. I don't want to be in the 200-meter radius of this guy, or you're dead. But you know what? We're talking about the teams that did so well, also just like Boars. I was actually very upset with 2 teams, and that was Weibo and especially Alter Ego. Sure, they got a few points on board here, Hot Jukes, but Alter Ego in particular, why are we doing this mid-game 2-2 split versus Burmese Ghouls and Weibo? Commit to a fight. You know what? I genuinely don't care which one you pick. Commit to it as a full squad, and you might be able to actually make it for Weibo's position here. As Inner Circle, they take away first place in the first match on Rondo? What?
What?
What a jump!
Are you kidding me? Yeah, when I saw that 2-2 split from Alter Ego, right? I was like, this is a 30-point lead play here. You know, like if you got 30 points on the lobby, then you can kind of do that kind of thing and get away with it. But you don't got that kind of lead, and that lead is gone. See you later. You ain't even in first place anymore. Now you're the team in the hot seat. Game number 1. This is what I'm talking about, guys. Neptura, last chance. This is what it's all about.
It is. Inner Circle were in 7th place beginning today, and in one game, they've not only got to first, but they've actually got a fair bit of a lead, right? What is that for? It's 7 points. I mean, it's not a lot, but it's more than AE and Flash right now. It's more than Flash and Weibo right now. So what a game from them. I mean, we're not going to see those same kind of numbers coming in on a wrangle, but if they can get a back-to-back top 5, top 3, they're set, Max.
I think I did see there was a little bit of a point gap being created between 4th and 5th, if I'm not mistaken, like getting around 10 points. There is a bit of a cushion being built here. It's not a massive one, but it's still something sizable. But all I want in a circle, don't rest on your laurels. Great that you did so big a jump here on game 1 going into first place. You're not comfortable still. We need to see, of course, a follow-up going into the Erangel matches, where Erangel for them yesterday, Niptura, they didn't get too many points on board. They got like a very low elim 3rd place with, actually was it? No. Oh yeah, it was the 3rd place, but it was still 10 elimination. Actually, I got that number wrong. An extra 0 there, so quite impactful. But, it's going to be tough because, look, Flash getting so many points too, Weibo getting a ton of points, Alter Ego able to at least get into the mid-game stage. Erangel is going to be do or die for some of these squads.
No, it is absolutely Weibo as well with that, right? They did get to the top 4 and they did get a lot of eliminations. It's just that they faltered in the last bit. But again, that kind of performance is something we want to see coming into those next games. So Weibo is still a threat here for sure.
Neptune, I have a question for you. Okay.
Yes, sir.
When it comes to Inner Circle here, okay, the strategy, obviously, with how behind they were, right, was go aggressive, get a ton of eliminations, win the game, right? They did exactly that for game number 1. Now they're in the lead, okay? Going into Erangel, though, what do you feel would be the best bet for Inner Circle here? Do you stay aggressive? Do you try to soak up some more points and kind of segue? Or now that you got a little bit of lead, just try to stretch to that end game and conserve and get some points? What would you do in the situation?
Honestly, I would ask them to just play exactly how they played that rondo, because they kept to themselves. They weren't over aggressive. They were very careful. They made the decisions they made and they stuck to them. And then those angles coming out in the end game, the timing of the end game was so on point that they cannot go wrong if they just continue to do that. So just do the exact same thing would be my advice.
For Weibo in particular, I said I was also a little bit unhappy about their game. They just delayed their fight versus 90 Globen, and then Inner Circle were just able to make that push and third party it. Weibo, I want to see them be a little bit more proactive with when they pick their fights, and if they do that, I think here they could have got easily maybe even a second place, but they were just not quite quick enough, Hot Jukes, to take away that podium position.
Oh, you better be quick on your feet here because there's only 5 more matches left to go. Let's get into the first Erangel of the last day of Last Chance. Let's go ahead and take it on over to our casters, John Allen and Blake.
Oh, what a mad one to kick things off. Inner Circle up in first place. We are unmuted, unleashed, and ready to rock this lobby once more. We're into Erangel for our final stretch of 3 for a lot of these teams. 14 will never see the grassy pastures again until 2026. So let's see who's going to make the most of it. Are they going to be able to hold their top spots? Is that second place going to be as hotly contested as we think towards the end of the day? Only time will tell. And let's get cracking.
It's quite a few teams right now actually chasing for top 2. I'm kind of surprised by the amount of teams who are in close contention for it. Usually at this point of the day, you're starting to see at least 4 teams break away, but I still think there's around about 7 teams that can still make it in at the moment, or with a fighting chance at least. I think after our next match, match 3, we'll start counting some teams out. If I'm honest, we'll start counting some teams out. It looks like we're getting a hot drop straight away, though. It is Alter Ego immediately getting harassed here by Papazu. Massive, great spray down from Rosemary. You expect nothing less from the guy.
I mean, this is a good start for Alter Ego. This is very, very dangerous stuff for them, though, after getting pushed down to second place. You can't really afford things to go wrong for you, but it's all going right. Krypton on the window doesn't get taken down, and Papa Supermassive really suffering now. There's a hop in for Krypton. He's on the chase. He's looking for more, putting pressure on. Rosemary has fallen. You do not want to let this one get flushed away. 2 players go down as well. Snake keeping things under control. The Papa Supermassive losing their players. Alter Ego fighting for their second place. Up 3 elims and now just 1 player on the rooftops. Kamikaze, was that with the bow? He got a double knock. Does he think he's Sook? What's going on here? Kamikaze, put that one back. You're not in Weibo. I know. He's going to drop down, though. He's going to go for the rest of the fight. The spray down with the UMP. He's hopping in. He's up for the window. Snape controls it. Snape explodes at his feet, but it's not going to do the damage. And he will find it. Papa Supermassive fall and Alter Ego cling on.
I mean, they made the right play there. Full reset, or at least attempted to 1 player holding. Alter Ego with 4 points there. Very much needed points, but I guess a bit of a heart attack moment for them there as they dropped over towards hospital. Didn't expect to be receiving injuries in the operating room, but there you go. That's how it all breaks down here on Erangel. Sometimes it's quite violent. But we do have a northwest circle over towards Ruins, which is unoccupied at the moment. Papa Supermassive, they might have just stamped their ticket out. We do have an interview coming up very shortly, and I believe that it will be with IQ from Inner Circle to get a little bit of an insight into what's going on over on that squad and how they're feeling after that massive win.
Welcome to a quick report with the 7WG. I'm here joined by Falak from Inner Circle, putting up 1100 damage, and with that performance, pushing yourself up to first place. I want to know, you guys made an adjustment in Rondo in regards to the solo player with the 3-1 split. You made sure T24 went further away. What led to that decision?
We just went to Nuke so we can take some kills, and even if we die, T24 will just recall us and we will loot and belly and just rotate. And then zone favored us, and it was a very good match for us. That's it.
I mean, I wouldn't say someone just favored you. You guys, the timing was great, especially with WBG. As I mentioned earlier, you're in first place. What can you do to keep this momentum going and maintain yourself within the top two?
We are very confident now. We will just try to play good and continue this momentum so we can qualify for grand finals.
Inshallah, you'll be in grand finals. You got T24 performing. You're performing too. Everybody's performing. Let's see how Inner Circle can continue on the last day of Last Chance.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, they profited a huge amount in those final moments, Blank. I mean, going in towards the final circles, they only had something like 2 elims on that last rondo. And they were able to rack up so many from those final fights. Really masterfully played. They played very, very passive until that point, holding their position well. But now they're on the Millie Island, and they're going to have to transition north. So get that loot on board. Get trucking, because your destiny's just across that bridge.
I mean, for Inner Circle, it's pretty free and clear right now. On the south side, no one really challenging them. On Sosnovka, so an easy approach over towards the northwest. Genji are holding Western Bridge, though, so a little bit interesting there. Finished out on 7th place, I believe it was, they're showing on day 1, so it's a really big jump up after one game. Then again, I think it was roughly 27 points they got off that match, so fairly gigantic amount of points they were able to accrue. Alter Ego, a little bit of damage still on their side, but should be easily healed up. I don't really have any teams around them at the moment. Everest Circle, potentially, maybe. We'll see how it plays out. A bit worried for Alter Ego, because typically on these sorts of circles, and we head over towards Ruins, your Fields, Everest, teams do want to take splits. I think it's a frustrating one, because I think when you watch Alter Ego and they take their splits and it goes well, everyone at home is clapping. Everyone's, wow, Alter Ego, well done, well done. And we're all like, well done, nice split, nice split. But at the same time, in the back of my head, I'm always looking at them and being like, I don't know, is this too greedy? It feels a little bit greedy to me, and then it works out. But then there's those clear moments where they'll do it again, and it's wrong. It's the wrong play. And I think that because they are so good at the game, they can make some of these splits work out. I worry if they do make it in top 2, go to the grand finals, those splits are going to get punished so much, John.
I mean, just getting there in the first place already is going to be a monumental achievement, right? In the grand finals, the minimum prize you can earn is $25,000 in that 16th place. And if you get through from last chance, you're earning 10 or 9,500, depending on if you're first or second. So already you're nearly tripling your money, not to mention what you will have earned from Gauntlet, from group stage as well. So having a good time just getting there. But you're right, getting further in, that's even more money, right? Because the jumps do start to get pretty big. Obviously, that grand prize of $500,000 for first place in those grand finals. But we'll see. We'll see if that's something that is being purely utilized for this lobby as well, right? It could be a case of, well, we know we can't do it later, but in order to maximize this opportunity, because you need top 2, right? We're going to go for it and see what we can get done. I see right now Inner Circle looking to take eyes over towards Genji, who are guarding them out, which feels pretty cruel for Genji. They should be getting a move on, all things considered, towards this circle. But IQ completely knows what's going on here.
You know, I think Genji can sit here for quite a while, honestly. I don't think there's any reason for them to push out over towards the north side. They're in the circle. They may as well hold. I think for Inner Circle right now is more of a case of trying to pick up as many meds as possible, because I think they're going to be in the blue for a little bit of time. Honestly, if I was them, I'd probably just shift over towards the eastern side, and try and make that rotate. I can't imagine that's too difficult. For the Boars, they're probably not looking to hold on the Eastern Bridge, and I don't think they saw a lot of shoots down towards Sosnovka anyway. So yeah, I think this is definitely the right choice for them to try and shift over towards the eastern side. For Gen G, don't give them anything. And with that circle, the decision to push east makes all the more sense, because now Gen G can sit here forever.
Ooh, okay, yeah, that's definitely going to help that decision out. You're right. But the Boars, maybe? No, they're not going to be guarding that bridge, surely, in a circle. Oh, hang on a minute. They've turned around. Blank. They're moving back west. In the meantime, though, everybody who moved over to the Gatka fields is moving back down towards the south, to the hills to the southwest of Pachinki, to the mouth of Quarry on that southwest side. Beg your pardon. Getting a little bit choked up. No, I'm not. We're going down to the ridge that sits on the south of it, just north of Gen G as well. And the buildings that sit all in between. It is a little bit messy. They're going to go for it. Blank, they did turn around. Noki, then straight through the blockade. He's going to get taken down. That is a bad feeling. Decisions being a little bit uncertain on the south side. And Gen G, well, they stayed confident in theirs.
It's stage 2, guys. You don't need to make that play. It's just a categorically bad maneuver. Like, what's the upside here? Do you get it? You get one player across, you don't get shot at. You also have to get all 3 of your players across. You get one player across, it's free. You can get a compound on the south side. You try and take that one on the south side of the fields. You could have got that anyway just by shifting over towards the east side. Now that Gen G sees a player is down from in a circle, they're like, oh, we're free and clear. They're going to Eastern Bridge. Now we can make our move. So now that's taken. This crossing over towards the east would have been fine. In fact, he was closer to you. I think there's some very weird mistakes happening right now in Last Chance. Some really weird mistakes, and it's annoying me. It is annoying me.
Well, I mean, maybe it's the nerves. Maybe it's the knowledge that you have to go big to stay up in towards the top 2, right? For inner circle, maybe they thought, oh,
you can't. Don't give him any excuses. No. There's no excuses for that. No excuses. No excuses.
Okay. Whoa. Okay, fair enough. Okay, right. I take it all back. They're so bad. I agree with you, Blank. You know, that you said that they were so bad, I just...
Yes, I did. And I'm stunned by that. They're in first place. You don't need to go big right now. You just need to get casual points.
Oh, dear. Is there any other teams you'd like to unload on about?
No. But that was a bad play. I've not seen any of the bad plays that I need to unload upon right now.
Well, I can't wait for the next one. I think that's going to be great fun. Weibo on the western side, they were denied that chicken dinner. They wouldn't have been to the top 2 anyway. As you'll see, they were in 63 points there, which would have been one behind, of course, Team Flash on 64. But again, they are back in that in that conversation. It's a question of getting through Influence Rage because teams still looking to keep this one rolling. The south side a little bit harder to play now. Teams moving into the hills south of Gatka. I mean, that's kind of the major feature. The hills that stretch down to the southwest of Pachinki, some of the buildings there, trying to find those compounds. It's going to be difficult. Some of the chopsticks may be occupied in just a moment too.
It's a rough circle for everyone. It's a very, very rough circle for everyone. I like Alliance's move, nice and early, over towards the center. Weibo able to find themselves a knock over there towards 90 Globen. That's over towards the western side of the circle right now. I think if Weibo can control this, they'll do absolutely fine. They have a lot of options going over towards that eastern side. Kind of like Alter Ego's rotate. They managed to wrap all the way down and then back up again through the fields. This is actually a nice play from Alter Ego. I like that a lot.
All right, we'll have to wait and see if it's going to pay off for them. Inner circle, actually, by the way, slamming in from the east side, get past Boars, Team Flash, Gen G, and now they're onto the hill in the center of this one. So even with 3 players, they still managed to find themselves a pretty solid spot here, all things considered, playing up on the ridge lines that overlook the fields to the southwest of Pachinki, to the north of Ferry Pier. Wolves finding Arc Red. This is on a roll. Hang on a minute. Is that a solo roll up? And he's able to control it. Alliance are helping out a lot as well. I think, okay, yeah. So Arc Red looking to crash onto the Alliance position. And Igor was able to pull a point out of them. They're looking for more. Alliance still have the crossfire sight lines. And Arc Red, I mean, third partying just not enough here in last chance stages. They are having a tough time of it.
Arcred is a good team. Arcred is a good team. I'll stand by that they are a good team. I think that in terms of playmaking potential, they don't have it. I think that it's almost funny because a lot of the big moments from Arcred have come off the back of another team trying to make a play and then them ruining that play by being quick. They are very opportunistic. I think that's a really good quality in any team, to be able to quickly analyze and identify where there is value to be found on the map. But what Arcred don't do is they don't make plays. They don't make plays very often. And I think that could change. But I think the future is very bright for that team. And Uzbekistan coming into the region in a big way now, I think that they have a bright future ahead of them. Honestly, just getting for the last chance here, I do think they've got a bright future ahead of them. They need to solve some of their problems, be a little bit more proactive in the circle. But other than that, I think that their gun skill is good. I think their opportunity making is good. I'd like to see some improvements elsewhere, but I think the future does look good.
I think that's the takeaway that you could probably look at for quite a few teams in this lobby as well. As we said before, you know, we'll criticize a lot of the plays that these teams make, but they're trying to make them against the best teams in the world. So sometimes it's just not going to work out, not going to go your way. And even getting to this point is a monumental achievement for everybody here. They are deserving of all the reverence that they are receiving, I'm sure. At least I hope, from their fans, from their home team, support as well. Alter Ego diverting one of the players that remains from 90 Globen. They are a little bit split and really down on their luck right now, having a very tough time. The circle shift west, and Alter Ego have the middle spot again.
And for 90 Globen, it's sort of interesting. I think they were in the... they got sort of placed in the wrong house, right? If we're going by Harry Potter, when they got placed in Group Green, because it was such an aggressive lobby, but they were much more of a Group Red type of team, in my opinion, where they make these wide ramps, they play more chess, but it was so aggressive over in Group Green, and they took advantage of that. They really did. In terms of their rotates. Here, the teams are very much willing to make smart rotations, and 9ZG is struggling to find those entryways, which they found so often in the past. Neil Zard is very lucky. He keeps taking shit down. This should finish the job, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. That'll do it. That'll do it. Loops are down, and they are starting to slip now, Blank. The Brazilians not having the best of time, but Influence Rage may be able to keep the banner flying over on the western side right now, as they still are in with a chance. They've got a compound, one of the few solid spots, but kind of crashable for me if I'm looking at a team like Weibo, although the question is, do they want to at this stage? And actually with Gen G bearing down upon them, the Boars also pushing in. I think Weibo have bigger fish to fry right now. Sook holding the first. We'll go for the flush as well. Weibo diverting Gen G, but they're going to slam straight in for the rest of the fight. Spray downs look good. Sook is down and actually flushed away. Gen G giving them a bit of a runaround here, but 33Z with a lineup. Spray down, blitzing Gen G, putting them in the blender. They are not to play the rest of this match. They'll get the res and play on as 3 for Weibo. They're challenging. Team Flash making their move as well, up towards Inner Circle, who've been on this position for a while. IQ split apart from the rest, and now Inner Circle playing just as one. A nice run up for Team Flash to claim their spot back, potentially, because it is still all to play for.
Yeah, T24 last alive here. And it's an awkward position on the map to be playing too for T24. So open. You got this small dip. It's a tiny dip, essentially, to work with. But I think that he should be going down in the next couple of stages. Got a lot of this fielded area on the north side. We still have Chopsticks in, like we were talking about earlier with Geekay, holding that one. Influence Rage have a very strong compound over towards the northwest. Question of how long it stays in. Burmese Ghouls out of the field, though, fighting versus the Flash. Attempts to step up, but there is a shot there from along the way. The Flash continues to corral Burmese Ghouls into position.
Known having the rescue mission sent his way, but Yatka steps into the firing line, and they will tear them to shreds. The Ghouls having a tough time here out in the open. Ichi sending for the 4 wins now. And Team Flash happy to pick up these points. They've started to rack them up now, Blank. Alter Ego, sure, they're in a center position. They've got some points. Weibo are chasing, though. And Team Flash as well, up towards the northern side. And it's going to be both of the two teams on the outside there having to move. Team Flash and Weibo are chasing squads, looking to move things aside. As at the moment, Inner Circle going to have a real tough time of it. T24, I mean, he's being spotted. He's being shot at. Krypton looking to take him out now. But with the 1 point they've earned, it's not the greatest of finishes. But is he going to get into a building? I think he might just. Oh, no, not quite close enough.
Which one?
To go a little bit further afield. Yeah. He's going to have Arcred to contend with. I thought that was empty. I'm blind completely. I didn't realize Arcred was sat on top of the roof.
Yeah, no, absolutely not. Absolutely not. I think T24, like I said, is going to go down the next couple of stages. Very difficult to play the solo from this position. There really isn't many areas to play. And honestly, by this point in time, you even have these shacks, which are usually designated for like one player. Teams are wanting them. Teams are wanting them. Boar's looking a lot better than recently. I think a lot of weight's off their shoulders, which is allowing them to play at a much higher potential, funnily enough.
So kind of letting them go, you know, a little bit off the leash. And this is, again, a team that we were really not expecting a lot from. I've given them a lot of flack over the course of this one, but they have found some cheeky little engagements. I mean, they're not a qualifying team. I think it's still safe to say, but they've exceeded my expectations. And for that, I'm happy. Let's see if they can go toe-to-toe with Team Flash, though. Win does get flushed away, so Team Flash now on 2 players alive, and SnowX is on the swivel. Maybe they're going to exceed my expectations once more, because Team Flash having a bit of a nightmare here. Just the 1 player left standing, and Bose is on low HP as well. Really struggling from up on high, needs to connect, look for the spray downs. Alter Ego not getting stuck in either. They're busy fending off the southwest edge from Influence Rage. In the meantime, Weibo as well, suffering against Alliance.
I mean, Weibo just crashed Alliance. Kind of respect this maneuver from them, to be honest. This is so much more aggressive than we've seen Weibo in the past. Up to 7 elims on this game. And I think they're really feeling themselves here. After that last match, they made a couple of mistakes, but I think that they are having a big batter moment right now. They're looking for the home run, try and get themselves in towards top 2. As soon as you make that maneuver, you could have played a lot slower, just like Inner Circle, but they don't. They make this weird maneuver on the Western Bridge. I did not like it at all. But for Weibo, I respect it. I really do respect it.
With 3 players alive, 7 elims as well. Let's hope they don't overpeak their angles again. That's the last player from the Burmese Ghouls going down. Yesterday, games looked pretty good for them. Influence Rage trying to move through Alter Ego. Alva able to find one. No, they're going to take Alva down, but Influence Rage get torn apart by Krypton on the inside. Law finally able to hit the drop shot, and actually it's now down to just Snape. The knocks are coming through thick and fast, and Law will be able to pick up these flushes. Alter Ego put down to Size. Will be playing on us too. The Boars are going to rock in from the eastern side as Team Flash, I believe they're eliminated on the eastern side. And the Molotov in from Law might just burn Alter Ego out of position, cause some problems, and Geek are here to play the revenge of the bottom of the tables.
Yeah, everyone wants points on this one. Alva crawling over towards his teammate, but that nade is on target. Kevin will take him down. At least Alter Ego were able to get some points this game. We weren't able to quite track their rotation perfectly because we were more concerned over towards Weibo, who have now removed Alliance from that position, playing as a 3 in one of the big buildings available. Geek, though, continues strong. I think, again, a lot of our teams towards the bottom of the lobby, the weights are off. You know, we've dropped them like Rock Lee, and we are just going for it because it does feel like you have a little to lose now.
Looks like Weibo have called in a favor of the circle to keep them in on the southeast side here. Other teams are going to have to move in towards the Falcons from the northeast edge. They're closest to it, but the Wolves are really making their lives hard. With Doran still across the way, that's going to control them for a while, but it's on the far side of the circle, likely going to have to move. Arcred unwillingly sharing this compound with Weibo. And Water does get rezzed. Another nade on in. Maybe that's just a smoke. Maybe a Molotov, actually. No, okay, it does pop some damage there. Didn't quite see the cook on that. Order getting the healing on board. Arcred can't really afford to step too close to this one.
Yeah, I think it was a sticky bomb that you sent in there.
Ah, okay, that makes more sense.
But 8 elims for Weibo. Again, if they are able to push further, I think that does sit them over towards first place, John. If they can get like a 3rd or a 2nd. Alter Ego did push very far in this game with their 8 elims. That's me. Snowix just runs them all down. Snowix is kind of insane. And we haven't had much good to say about the Boars, but Snowix is just a ridiculously good player. And I think that he does deserve a lot of credit. Weibo looking over towards Arcred, and they get immediately taken out. 5th place, I don't think that's enough. It might push them to top 2, but we'll wait and see. But it is fierce. It is fierce towards that top 3 at the moment.
We called it on the tower graphic on the right-hand side. It's a dead heat right now between Weibo and Inner Circle. The tiebreaker, though, won by Inner Circle. So it's still just outside. But currently, it's a 3-way tie, including Alter Ego, actually, with 74 points. 1st, 2nd, and 3rd right now. Team Flash, obviously drawing short. Burmese Ghouls out of the running. At the moment, the next closest team is the Wolves to try and jump on up. And they're quite a hefty chunk behind. The Falcons just behind them as well. Arcred and Geeke further still. Koa lands a shot over towards Doran. Falcons have been trying to move forwards for a while now. They have managed to get into the next circle. The Wolves are struggling to find these shots because Coops is down next.
If the Falcons, you're starting to... I'd start throwing smokes and start rotating over. You've got 2 knocks there. Now's the time to push. Clear out the Wolves. Slight delay on this one, in my opinion, but a great shot from Narvalo from the front line there. That should be the Wolves done.
It should be going down, but they've got a little bit of tenacity still in them.
That's a lovely nade.
We'll want some shots. That is a lot of nades, and they are going to land on target there. The backline's now the only thing for Wolves that is still alive, and the Falcons want to add to their Elim tally. Geeke on 10 Elims right now, blank. They keep it going. Doran down, and the Falcons earn their keep for the time being. They have expended a lot of nades, but that resupply comes in very quickly. Look at that. Immediately snagging 6 more. Geeke struggling to move across in the zone. I mean, it keeps this compound in. Weibo would have loved to have won this fight.
They really would have done. I think they gave their all. They already fought Alliance. It was a little bit more of a struggle for them versus Arcred. And great play from Arcred to drop all the smokes. But they were able to pick up a strong spot here. And Arcred actually might get a win off the back of this. They might do. That's how crunched they get between DK.
Falcons nearly with a knock over towards Ragnarok. Arcred also turning the majority of their tension down towards Geeke, who are making moves and a little bit too late still. I mean, it's just not happening for them. But it's a bit of glory under the belt, if you can find it. Ragnarok out in the open. Ooh, he's a bad boy, not quite spotting it. The Falcons need to move in too.
Well, I think the setup from the Falcons is good so far. They're trying to deny sightlines from Arcred over towards them. And when Arcred needs to start moving out, they want to make sure they have the line down from the south side so they can shoot them as they move out from those buildings. And the Falcons don't really want to have to take this fight with Geeke. They'd rather Arcred took those shots and they steal away the points. It's like they don't have too much ammo on board either, John. Finally, making this push out towards the hay bales. That is a dangerous crossing. All the players inside the vehicle likely to lose at least one, but this is a haymaker of a crash.
Ooh, Alpha's going to be able to win the challenge, though, and actually, they're going to be able to fight. No, surely not. Oh, no, it's not Valo, though. Don't count him out. Not until the end. Not until the very, very end. It's actually Ralph's going to get his own elimination there. That is unfortunate as the vehicle goes up. Narvalo now on the backstop, the only player for the Falcons alive. Arcred need to move out into the field, and they do just that. The smokes, yeah, it's not going to be there. Hardboy has the angle. There's no way he gets these reses. And they're all outside of the zone. Narvalo at the open. They will go down in second. A nice little crash down, but the explosion doesn't go their way. And Arcred claim a chicken dinner, blank, to take things into control towards the very end on the open fields.
Yeah, I think I would have preferred a 2-2 split in the vehicles, potentially, but, you know, hindsight is 2020 there. Tough approach, but a pretty good close down there from Ralph. Sad that the vehicle explodes up in his face. If that doesn't happen, it's a full reset on the team. It really is an unfortunate moment for him. He had to start running away a lot sooner. And again, it is just these tiny little micro maneuvers which are losing teams games. I think that you can't really blame Ralph too much there. I think that's the best we've seen him in a clutch all last chance. But it's a case of, oh, I've got to win this fight. And then you're not really thinking in the back of your head, I've got to get away from the vehicle.
Yeah, it's really, really tough, especially when Arc Red are still taking shots out. You're more concerned about your teammates. The Falcons, I mean, it was a good try. It was a good try, but they just couldn't quite cut the mustard this time around. Second place still might keep them in competition. The top spots did draw short, a 74-point dead heat over on the top.
And it's Arc Red who pulled out the chicken dinner for match number 2. This endgame was just wild, Max, man. Falcons getting pushed on by Geeky. Break it down for us.
I mean, it just got a bit messy, really. I don't know what to add onto this. I get the idea of Falcons trying to go onto that fight to take the ankles away from DK. The thing is, you're not even in a great position in the circle itself if you win that fight. And the rotations early game were great, and they're keeping 4 players alive until the very late game, that was one of the big points of improvement I wanted to see coming out from this team. But that late game push, I think going for Geeky here, Niptera, was maybe not the right option. I think there was another fight that you're thinking they could have taken earlier on this match.
Yeah, I think that the way they played this, going for Geeky was the only way they could have played it. However, I want to go back ever so slightly and go, when Arc Red were fighting Weibo and Alliance, I think Falcons should have third-partied that. That would have been a completely better option, because then you have actual control of that compound, and then you're the one in control of the zone. You're the one in control of Geeky as well, who had the field. So for me, I would have much preferred a full send onto a third-party position on that compound.
Yeah, I mean, especially the thing is, because you do not fight Arc Red in that compound, guess what? Bad boy, he can play the roof angle, which, you know, in a field finish, when you have that high ground elevation, you can't escape the Eye of Sauron in this lobby, and Bad Boy just got so much free information and even some off angles at the end around the trees west of the circle. So Arc Red, Uzbekistan, looking really good, starting off the day in 13th position. I wonder how high that's going to push them here, Hot Jukes.
Yeah, it's going to definitely push them up a little bit. They've still got a long road left to go here. And the trial is only going to get tougher, because as we start dwindling down here in the last day, teams are going to be just that much more desperate. This hot drop, though, Max, man. Did we see this hot drop coming? I mean, hospital, of all places?
Yeah, he was trying to be Sook. And he's trying, though, talking about a bad play there. In a circle. They knew Genji were there. They scouted them. And they still send it. I mean, good on Genji, because I feel like that was a good idea to defend it, because you're clearing your back while trying to transition in the later stage of the game. But in a circle, why delay that Eastern Bridge rotate? That one did confuse me quite a bit.
I think they were trying to pull a bluff and kind of go, listen, Genji definitely not going to be here. The zone's pushing them away now. And unfortunately, that was just wrong, right? But yeah, they should have taken the Eastern Bridge. We saw it with the Eastern Bridge. We saw them do that in the end, and they survived a lot longer for it. So yeah, that would have been the better play, just to go for that and full send that. But, you know, again, just at least they only lose one, right? And they get further ahead in the game. So hopefully not too much of a bad game for them here.
So, looking at this final fight, we did have SnowX popping off. I think he got a double nade at one point. A great play on that southern edge fight. But unfortunately, he does get overwhelmed at the end. But yes, SnowX, the French. Always happy to see the French before we got Novalo. Yes. And of course, now we do have SnowX on board for the Boars. They also did have a decent amount of points on Rondo. So that also could push them up significantly in the rankings, as we have the map recap here, seeing some of our top 4 team rotating around the battlegrounds. And you can see, based on where the circle went, Pachinki, Falcons, they don't drop too far away. They go right into Chopsticks, and they have an easy transition point. But they love this 2-2 split, Niptera. I swear they've done it for like the past 2 years now. They love this.
They really do, don't they? And honestly, it gives them so much info heading into the mid phase of the game. So I actually really like that, as long as they don't lose players, right? But we will see them kind of keep off to themselves. Same for Arc Red. Arc Red had that one half of the compound for a very long time, just really chilling there, able to keep their info, keep their utilities GGs as well till the end game. I also really liked what we saw here from Falcons. They move up onto this little bit of high ground. It's very similar to what we saw from them in one of the games on the group stage, where they were able to really have a dominating game based off of that high ground, that rolling hill. So I'm really glad they remembered that and utilized that again here, because again, it gets them 10 points on the board, and with how close the leaderboard is, that 10 points is looking really good for them.
Every point counts here at this point. Chopsticks field finish is always going to be so difficult, so I'm not surprised we saw so many teams just get eliminated right there towards the end. And man, it's so wild to see just how things are shaking out here. We still got 2 more Aaron Gales left to go, Max, man. Weibo, they put up 11 in their first one here. They're putting up some consistent points, but I think it is just these little tiny mistakes that we're seeing after them. By the way, 33Z with those crazy shots on the Gen G, that got me so hyped.
Yeah, I was like, no way, 33Z is popping up. It's so good to see. Like, of course, when you look at this team, you're expecting Sook and you're expecting Order to be up there, but Hero and 33Z really coming in their own this season, it seems like, right, Niptura. They're really performing, bringing points on board. Genuinely so happy for them. Though, looking at the lower side of these rankings, I feel bad for one team, and that's Loops. Man, they were going for Crash onto Wolves, and they had 3 teams shooting back at them. They had GK, Burmese Ghouls, and the Wolves. I mean, you're taking a 1v3 at that point. What do you expect? It's going to be tough.
Yeah, I mean, it's the power of the field finishes, right? There's no angle from which you can hide. So unfortunate indeed, especially when you're going up against Bad Boy here, the MVP. Up on top of that roof, that compound is just so good for those roof angles, and you're able to just take so much advantage over those field finishes. So GG to Bad Boy, able to get up 6 eliminations here, Jukes.
Yes, indeed. I mean, Arc Red putting up some points. How close is the top looking, though, right now? It's looking pretty close. Pretty darn close. 3-way tie, folks. And the reason why IC is in second is because they got 1 chicken dinner. A is in first because they got 2. But Weibo is right there lurking right behind him. And not to mention, you got Flash pretty dang close. We are seeing a good, solid gap, though, between 4th and 5th place here, Max.
Yeah, you have a 13-point gap between 4th and 5th. Is you got, again, that little bit of a cushion being built up. But I am fuming. This is so rough to watch, Niptura, because I had 5 teams that I was like, I think are favorites when it comes to making it in top 2, and I would like to see them make it. And that's Ultra Ego, Inner Circle, Weibo, Flash, and Wolves. And 4 of them are in the top 4. This is going to be a heartbreaking finish, man. That last Miramar, I'm going to be crying.
Yeah, it's always heartbreaking when you've only got 2 going through, and when all of them are doing so well, as you said, the top 4 out of 5, right? And they're all so close. You've got the top 3 in a tie right now. Like, all of these teams deserve to go through to finals. We have to choose 2, and it's going to be so difficult to make that choice.
Oh, man, when it comes to the Wolves, Max, they are currently 21 points behind that 2nd place spot. I mean, with how these top teams are playing, it's getting about that do or die point, at least in my mind, right? What do you feel the Wolves specifically need to do different in this next Aaron Gale, considering they're so far behind?
So before I answer your question, because very good question, Ragnarok got 6 elims with just under 200 damage. Stealing.
What?
That's crazy.
That's
crazy.
In the game, he was stealing all the elims. But no, for Wolves, I'm really happy you bring it up. I feel like they're going for these kind of desperate positions. In this game in particular, right, in the field finish, they went for these sheds very early on, which they're not bad late game, right, if you don't have too many options. But here in Niptura, they went for them mid game. And that really locks you out of late stage rotational potential, because your cars are going to be spotted from like a mile away. You're going to pop the wheels on the buggies, on the Darciers, whatever vehicle you have, and you're not going to be able to leave it. I think that it would have been better to see them try and fight off for POI, like a compound or that hilltop to the west, or even maybe to the east. That would have maybe allowed them to make it into the top 3 podium finish. But here, I think they just went for a desperate position that, as we see, didn't really reward them with a lot of survival time.
I agree. I always hate when we see those plays being made in the mid game, because it feels desperate, and it feels like you're almost, now I'm going to be harsh here, it almost feels like you're giving up the game very, very early on, because once you're there, you're stuck there for the rest of the game. It's very few chances you're actually going to get through there. So I don't want to see that again. We've got 2 more Wrangles. Come on, we can do better than that. Wolves are far better than what that game showed us, so I need to see a bit more from them, Jukes.
I'm telling you though, military is coming.
Oh, let's see it. Let's see it. I want to see that desperation come out because some of these teams need these points so bad. One more Aaron Gale match. Let's go ahead and take it on over to John Allen and Blake.
Oh, we're getting close. Oh, we're getting so close. 9 out of 12 matches. This is our 9th. Will it be lucky number 9 for one of our teams looking to break that tie at the top spots, the top 3, looking to try and make some division between them, try and open a lead. The plane path on the west side here. Maybe we'll see some vehicle hot drops, teams looking to break out towards the east, but we're going in again. This is our second Erangel today and our penultimate Erangel of the last chance stage.
It's also the part of the day where I said that we should start counting out some teams who would not be making it through last chance into top 2. It gets really difficult at this point, John.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. He's going to be much harder for the teams at the bottom to start to make up that ground. The opportunities are dwindling. There really isn't much more time left. If you're not in the competition at the end of this match, you're not in the competition. I mean, of course, the outliers of, back-to-back 30-point games, but I mean, I don't think that's ever happened in the history of PUBG Mobile. I don't think we've seen a last 2 matches ascendancy in that sort of fashion before. We've seen comebacks, but they have been sort of over the course of an entire day, not just at the second part of it. So this game, crucial. I think for anyone maybe below 50 points, it's got to be very, very, very difficult to catch up here. And anyone below that metric will really struggle to catch up. And anyone below 40 points, it is just done. There is no way you're making it through. Second place, we're expecting it to be over 100 points, towards 110, could be as high as 120. It's very, very volatile, very variable as to what we'll see at the top of the tables. And at the moment, looks like we haven't got too many teams actually stacking up to that sort of metric. 110 looking more likely, maybe closer to 100.
Yeah, essentially on this match, like if you are around the 45-point mark, you're looking for a chicken dinner, or to be honest with you, what you're looking for is 55 to 60 points. And that might give you a chance to catch up, right? For teams like Burmese Ghouls, Loops, Influence Rage, Wolves, these teams do have the possibility of making it in, but it does require Alter Ego and Inner Circle, Weibo, Flash to stop doing so well in their matches, because it seems very consistent from all 4 of those squads getting towards a late finish. The Flash is lagging behind a little bit, but it is so close. Like, dead heat between Alter Ego, Inner Circle, Weibo is insane to me. All 3 teams with 74 points. I can't remember which group it was, but we had another group where it might have been Group Red, where it was 3 teams on the same points towards the top side and winning out on tiebreakers. Just insanely close this tournament so far. I feel like a broken record as well, because every single PMGC we get, I'm like, this is the most competitive PMGC we have seen. It seems like we've topped it again.
Hey, we just keep getting better, strength to strength, It was very, very close. Yeah, back in Group Red, it was 137 in third place to 136 and 136 for both Team Flash and Weibo Gaming, who right now are on 3rd and 4th place right now as well, which has got to feel like a terrible little flashback. And if you want to see flashback, then they are going to need to break that tiebreaker.
Some bad omens for some of our squads at the moment. Weibo starting at Severny, likely going to be a swing over the south side of Stalbert. I pick those positions on the east side of the circle. In a circle, yeah, you'd hope it was an eastern bridge. Snake down immediately, and Rosemary going to test his metal here, but there is some great shots from Neil Zada off in the distance. Vitin will find Rosemary. Well, Krypton has a lot to do here. I like that pre-fire.
Not able to keep things under control. Gonna abandon Rosemary, let him crawl back instead. Alva's in for the backup. The nade goes long. And it might just be a resible here. Ratto Boy wants to stop it, but the bounce on the container. Rosemary is looking pretty resible. Neilzada trying to launch a nade. Ratto Boy, Vitin, both trying to find it. Geek are here. Hang on a minute. A third party coming through from the northern shore, all the way from the backlines. And that should allow Alter Ego to maybe repair the decimating damage that's been sent their way already. Alva desperately picking people up. Neilzada very exposed. Wants to slow it down, but overexposed to Krypton. And he's able to slice on through it. Rosemary back to his feet. The backup for Loops cut away by the third party from Geek. Rosemary re-knock, but Snape severs the connection to that knocker. Will not be able to find the flush. Ratto Boy desperately bringing back Neilzada now, and Loops' dreams may be coming crashing down here. Alter Ego keep the top spot for now, and they want more. They want to keep it going, but Ratto Boy rages on the inside. Krypton flushed away, and Geek in for the fight. Once more, they look to stop a team at the top.
GK moving in, and number one bites the dust, and that's Alter Ego down and out. 75 points is the marker now for first place. What a big stand-up there for Krypton, but not enough as GK swings in from that north side. Oh, the reset just could not come through. I think if Alter Ego was able to get the full reset, they might have just divulged away from this location, straight down towards the south. Second time now where Alter Ego, right at the beginning of the game, gets completely cut out. Starting to wonder if this is potentially targeted.
I mean, Geek with 3 elims on the hunt for the remnants of Loops. For Alter Ego, that's nasty. It felt like Geek were giving them the little assist. I wonder if Papra Supermassive are aware of this. I mean, starting up towards Zaki, by the way, for Papra Supermassive, they may have heard some of this fighting. But the quiet should spook them now. They'll have seen a squad wipe coming through on their elim feed. They should be aware that this is popping off. I think getting to the circle might be a little bit more of a firm beckon for Papra Supermassive. As we hop over to the east side, though, Arcred very central. Team Flash on quite a big split, lining the east side of the Yasnaya fields right now. And trying to hold out as much as they can. Weibo a little bit further out east towards that mansion split area.
I think it's a reasonable split coming through from the Flash. I think they can contain a lot of this area for the time being. A lot of safe buildings to work with as well. Especially this one here for Tops. The wall around it keeps him pretty fortified. Should have off angles from his team as well to help if anything goes down. But you'd hope that they would regroup soon. They have got a lot of loot on board starting in the Yasnaya. They have a ton of time to grab smokes, nades, everything they might want towards an end game. Weibo do make that cross on South Stalbert. Nico, though, finding Geek. Geek kind of an annoying squad right now for a lot of teams, I imagine. Coming out nowhere. Also, I will say, though, for Geek, I really did like that rap, right? Where they saw over towards Loops. They did a lot of damage towards Loops. They were like, okay, that team is in a struggle bus city. So let's wrap over towards the other side and try and take down the other team that seems to be taking a lot of damage, trying to get the reset. So it was a smart move. Hard southeast shift. Goodness me. Ooh. So we're over towards Lumberyard. Boars do have an outpost already set up there. So good foresight on that one from them, trying to take as much area as possible from where they were playing.
Foresight might not be enough, though. You need to go for the 5, 6, 7 site. In the end, Redox spotted out in the open. A very wide split for the Falcons. They were hedging their bets on this one, but they do get spotted with one of their players. They'll play on as 3, trying to make their way down south with the rest of them. Team Flash, I mean, picking up a point for Team Flash is good. Every single point matters. And I mean, this is what we were talking about, right? With points denials also being so important. We've seen several be denied over the course of the games here in Last Chance and over the course of the tournament in general. And it would break a tiebreaker like this, right? It would put Weibo above Inner Circle or vice versa in scenarios like this, which is exactly why we talk about it being such a viable strategy in these really, really close scenarios.
I'm surprised by Weibo's approach on this one. They actually sent hard down towards the southeast. All the dead trees, pick up compounds that sit around there as well. Bit of a gamble from Weibo trying to get further into this match. Now Valo gets spun out. We'll have to reverse that bad boy across the grass. Arcred may just chase him down. That's Falcons down towards, I think that's 3 players. One player is very low, or it is just down to...
Yeah,
just down to 3 players now. So they lost Redox.
On that rotate down from the south side after playing that large split. Arcred not wanted to stretch out too far, and I think that's probably sensible given the circle right now. Teams will crunch in around them, and if they get embroiled in a fight for too long, it will get third parties.
Yeah, you want to hold on to the prison spot, especially on the high ground as well. It's a very nice position from Arcred. Maybe they could have got something done there. I say quick flex out, but I think the high percentage play is just to stay there. And for the Boars, who are currently at 47 points, they do have a real chance to get up towards the middle of the pack and potentially hunt down some of our top teams. With Alter Ego already out, it gives slightly more time, right? We add a little bit more to that stopwatch for some of our squads trying to move through towards the top side of the lobby. Ray is just spinning out of control.
Hitting with the Beyblade. Trying to make it work. GK on this northwest side. Of course, losing one of their players earlier on to Papara Supermassive. They are still on this north side. Next circle. We're going up towards the prison. Oh, a big feature of the circle. That prison ridgeline that Arcred hold is a break point for teams moving up towards the north, for Alliance, for Wolves, for Inner Circle, Gen G, Weibo as well. It's going to filter teams left and right of it. And I would not be surprised to see a couple of teams trying to put themselves in shackles and send on in there.
Well, that's the last-ditch scenario, right? If you are a solo or a duo, maybe you play prison, but it does become sort of unplayable area. You don't want to end up in there unless you're in zone 7, 8, and it is on top of prison directly. For Weibo, very quick approach back over towards Lipovka, scouting out that area, trying to control the ridge on the western side. I think they understand that they can't get the majority of the area there, so they're just going to sit this one out, it seems, over on the coast. The GK sending in here early is interesting, in my opinion.
Big dogs in the prison yard.
I think they're more prisoners, honestly. just prisoners.
Oh yeah, big dog in the prison yard. Little minuscule terrier on the outside right now. I mean, you rock up there, you're going to have problems, but are you going to rock up there? Well, Loops seem to be scouting it. They go in as well. Loops are going in too. Loops are going in with Gike. They're going for the lock-in. And Loops in a really important position, although to be fair, Loops are 2, so that's kind of more excusable.
Yeah, like I said, as a duo, it makes sense. For Gike as a 3, I just don't really get it. Yeah, I think Gike is just maybe unconfident in their capability to fight out for position around him and they just want to survive. Just fair enough. There's a lot of riding on this game. But for Gike with 38 points, feels unlikely. Maybe they're just wanting to get, 10 points on this match, just keep pumping those numbers. But again, that is hoping that teams towards the top aren't doing well, which right now they wouldn't be wrong.
I mean, getting numbers, that's what this whole thing's about, right? Getting those. You really want a 1 or a 2 next to your name at the end of this one. Those are the only numbers that matter, really. At the end of the day, Wolves playing on the southwest side, close to Alliance. The Wolves, a little bit of a fall off today, but still just about in with a chance. Really at the bottom rung, though, of that ladder, looking to try and climb up on 53 points. It is big games they need for the rest of today to jump up and compete. Unless Alter Ego keep going down with single-point games, if Inner Circle and Weibo do the same, maybe they don't need quite as much, but the next circle will pop in as well. If we go to a prison finish blank, I feel like I'd absolutely love that. But it would be terrifying for our players. Izzy Globan rocking up to Burmese Ghouls.
We are closing in on it. Ooh. Don't enjoy prison finishes, personally, but could be the way forward. I mean, Arcred do have sightlines down towards it, but again, it's this massive glut of teams down towards the southwest. You all have to journey up there soonish. That is a slight slope they'll have to make their way through. So likely the Alliance, Wolves, Falcons, Inner Circle, in fact, will all need to battle off against one another shortly.
It's going to be a real sparsity, I think, of positions. This south side, that melee that we're looking forward to. Burmese Ghouls on the north side. I mean, they're in their compounds. They've got all 4 of their players alive. They can bide their time for a little bit longer. Not so for Alliance. They are one of those teams on the south edge, with Falcons, with Inner Circle, all stacked up around the lumberyard, and everybody looking to try and chop their way out. Falcons getting lit up from both sides, though. This is nasty stuff. The D24 finds the first knock. Alliance not chiming in just yet, but Inner Circle actually going to be pushing up closer with Falak getting into nade range. Alliance will have oversight onto this, and they will take him down. That is nasty news, and Narvaro's going to chase it through as well, looking for the knocks. And Gen G are here on the eastern side. Blank, they're flexing out from the east edge instead of going for the circle. They want to third party, finding another knock towards Inner Circle. The flush comes on through, and now they're playing with 2 active, 1 down. Inner Circle a little bit too far forwards, but who could have predicted this flex out coming through from Satan on Gen G?
So what we've discovered here is that Gen G hates Inner Circle for some reason. Not entirely sure why, but they keep running into them, causing a lot of problems right now for Inner Circle, down to just IQ, leader of the squad, trying to figure out how to make this work, how to get some more points in the game. And suddenly Weibo is in a far better spot than anyone else, similarly with the Flash.
Yeah, I think for Team Flash on this western side, and you're right, yeah, Weibo and Team Flash definitely now in with a massive opportunity to jump up on these standings with a decent game. It doesn't even need to be massive getting on up there. But I think the bigger news is maybe for the teams a little bit lower down, right? For teams like Burmese Ghouls, teams like Influence Rage, Wolves. This is an opportunity to put a dent in the lead that has been earned. If teams start to fall at the top, that is when the middle pack can rise. The rotates starting to come on through. And IQ, I mean, he'd like to go into prison at this point, potentially, but it seems to be a little bit overcrowded.
Yeah, there's quite a few. It is ridiculous the amount of teams that are currently playing in prison. You really don't expect this at this stage of the game, especially with the circle starting to move a little bit further over towards that eastern edge. I want to see some more from the Wolves, though, here out on that southwest side. Can they take down Alliance? Can they deal with the Flash? We'll have to wait and see.
Oof. Team Flash, knock onto Lil Boy. That's not going to be super resable. As Team Flash likely to look to reposition, but it's going closer to prison. Oh, blank. The shift to the southwest side. Arc Red control the hillsides. Team Flash have the western road. And Wolves as well. Looking pretty decent, but the cells beckon our teams towards them. What have they done to deserve such punishment? As Falcons try and fly, live up to their namesake. They send on in. Let's see where they land.
Well, I mean, you're in last chance, so you get in the prison. It's time. It is time to battle it out. Yeah. Out on the gym. Pump some iron. Pump those points. Hopefully. That 8 nades being cooked off in the distance there, by the way. Good nade from Koa. Starts things off strong towards Ragnarok.
EK. Challenge on the inside. Koa with the pump action, but he turns the wrong corner. 2 players to face. It's not going to work, but the nade. The answer from Ralph. The IGL. The man of the hour now. Holding down his corner and hops into the cell block. Really wants these points. He's charging forwards for them. Wants to stop the res as well. He knows it's the best situation he's going to get. It's the best 1v1 he'll find. Goes in. Wrong corner, my friend. You missed the guy actually in there. Ralph, you're floundering now. And 2 players on the stairs. They're going to take a chunk out of you. You need to be more careful than that. He misses the point, was sat right in front of him. He pops the wrong corner. Influence Rage are running in as well. Burmese Ghouls are playing the north side of the prison too. And loops are clashing. Brazilian Bonanza here on the inside. But the shack is held down and Influence Rage claim the points. But there's still more to go. Arc Red are now moving in. Blank, everybody's coming.
It is non-stop. It is non-stop. Arc Red moving around that top side. Burmese Ghouls here as well. The Falcons, Ralph is blinded by the sunglasses he wears the majority of the time once he's on that stage. Sadly, not able to pick up that point, and now will just remain on the southwest side of prison, tucked away for as long as possible. Weibo playing it slow. I think Weibo can start to sweep. Sadly, Claws finds Sook.
That's really nasty, but there is an answer from Hero. Maybe they can keep things under control, keep themselves as 4. I think having 4 on the outside of prison right now is basically a superpower moving into this lobby. Team Flash as well, now clashing with Wolves. Nades going back and forth, and actually it's Team Flash who are taking the majority of the casualties here as the nades start to come on through as well. A roll down from Claws is good from Weibo. And they look to step up for the challenge. Gen G starting to falter. They may have ruined Inner Circle's day, but Weibo all too happy to use them as a springboard to the top of the tables right now. 78 points now earned. And they will look for more to clear out what they can. Team Flash, they're down to 1 in the meantime. Over on the west side hill, the Wolves are winning that fight.
Wolves are doing pretty well. Definitely doing pretty well for themselves. Now looking down towards 9Z Globe, and I think for 9Z Globe, this is a hard push versus the Wolves. But Nades look to be pretty limited on the side of the Wolves there, which would be fantastic. I think for 9Z Globe, and they're probably just going to stick around on that western side. Next circle, I'm thinking it's going to be towards the prison. Yeah, so it cuts out a little bit. Weibo can control a huge amount of area from here, though. They will need to deal with Papra Supermassive soon. Similarly, also Boars on that north side are starting to make that move.
Moving on in, slamming straight past, looking for Burmese Ghouls who are moving up on the high ground here. Cause tries to get ahead of it. DBS in hand. Kevin with the challenge. Cause turns the wrong way though and gets clocked by 1. Second spray down there, and the off angles from 9ZG are just decimating the Burmese Ghouls approach. Yatka and Ichi immediately flushed away, and the backline's now the only thing that remain. Unknown wishes he had the necromancy powers on board right now, but Arc Red also third partying. That's what they love to do. We haven't really seen them take that opportunity, but it is getting a little bit nasty. They move down this eastern side. They've been on the prison ridge for so long, but with 2 players on the ball, the hard boy, he's got a hell of a task, and he will not be up to it.
Yeah, X are able to find those shots. Weibo's taking a really, really long split out towards that eastern side. They do find Tron B from Papra Supermassive, and Nate goes long, but it's not long enough, or is it? It's right on Sook's feet.
Not going to stop him, though. My man's still running, still going, still racking up miles. Needs to get his steps in. Of course, Nate over the top doesn't land on towards Remix on the north side. Just biding their time. 9Z Globen controlling the mouth of prison right now. Weibo kind of filling in towards Arc Red, and with a player down, it may be that Weibo were able to step through this one effectively. Doran knocked by Alliance on this west side combat. Wolves able to have dispatched the majority of Team Flash, but Alliance able to extract value in the meantime on the west edge.
Flash actually being the ones to take those shots over towards 9Z Globen. They were playing inside of prison right now. They're on the western edge, but it's Weibo to step up. Snoix now fallen behind the buggy. A couple of tap shots will do the trick. Ammo does not seem to be a problem either for Weibo, which is a really big deal, especially for that endgame when taking a lot of shots down towards the inside of prison.
Oh, Colin got moving through the Boars. Here to play 12 teams up, and they want to try and make it 11. They will bust it down 1, but 12 teams in zone 6 is crazy. Finally, we lose a second as well as the Wolves are taken out by Alliance. And now this ridgeline for Alliance becomes very, very strong. The transition out to the east side, though, a little bit more dangerous. The high ground not really under control as Weibo continue to rack up these points blank 7 elims. They're distinguishing themselves.
Yeah, pushing ahead, trying to secure that first place spot after match 3 today is a really, really good idea. And I think for Weibo, they make the good choice. I mean, sending over towards the Povka and then seeing that probably so many teams have sent down in towards the prison. We're just going to try and control the outside edge. But this is a winning play. This is the winning play. There's so many survival plays inside this lobby. And I think the nerves are getting to so many teams. Oh my days. Weibo is just going to have such a good time off the back of this one. They do need to hope this pushes further towards the east, though. But if it ends up centering up, everyone in prison is going down. Like, how do you get out now? If you want to get out of prison, you need to step out into the blue, wrap around the top side. You're locked in. You are absolutely locked in.
Yeah, there's no way. There's no way. I mean, maybe if you've got a buggy in there were some vehicles that drove in earlier, you might be able to clamber up, but that's going to be so visible. You're going to be making so much noise. They're just going to be waiting for you to turn over the ridge, and they'll be like, okay, now that's another point for us. Thank you very much. I think point denial in prison is going to be a big factor here, and that's nasty for Influence Rage, right? They are looking to farm as many as they can right now to jump up towards that 75-point boundary. An Inner Circle desperately hoping that they can survive. Team Flash as well, looking to try and keep their lives going. But no one really with a good spot to do it.
I think for Weibo, it's a good rotate down towards the south side, by the way. They see that, you know, 9Z Globe is likely going to be the circle a little bit longer, but this is going to push Alliance out, as well as remaining players from Papa Supermassive, which they already find. This is a very, very good rotate from Weibo. And 9Z Globe is playing so scared that Weibo can take all the time in the world that they want to deal with these teams on this western edge.
They've got so much leeway here, and what a time to find a game like this. It is messy on the inside. Ralph still kicking himself for well, maybe not because he didn't realize, but missing the Elim on towards Geekay. But now he has to move. He has to get across. And 3 players from Geekay, they know he's here. They're just waiting for him to step out, and that's not even to mention ArcRed, who have the high ground as well over this position. IQ has moved in. Oh, hang on a minute. Alliance are chiming in from that high ground as well, over towards Geekay. Ralph now. Okay, he's down. So Falcon's out. Geekay will continue with 3 players. ArcRed with challenges on their ridgeline, who have dropped down a little bit of a level, Jibbing with a little bit of an advantage potentially. Next circle coming in. Weibo, they're crashing 9ZG. It goes out to the west a little bit, so maybe more dangerous. But 9Z Global now on the cards for Weibo. A bit of a wild crash out, but it seems like it's going to work out for them. A 1-4 trade, though. They're getting torn apart a little bit, going too low for my liking. And another knock. 2 of them are down against 9Z Global.
That's where Order really needs to step up. If he can keep his team up at 4, it's a huge deal. Nate flies towards a position. Now 33Z is going to get a move on over towards that north side to help his team. Sook's probably going to bleed now, and he's running down. It's not happening. It is not happening. A little bit greedy on this 3-1 split. I think that Weibo needs to back off a little bit sooner. And it's going to be a reset here for 9Z Globen.
In the meantime, Alliance moving through on the hilltop, moving through ArcRed's defense. They've been on this ridge for a long time. ArcRed with only 3 elims. Alliance have been purloining them away, pilfering them as they go. Weibo getting run down. I mean, they went for that crash. They crashed into 9Z Globen, and they didn't need to. You said they could bide their time, and it's all come down around their ears, but they are still in first place for now. We'll see how much further they can go. ArcRed getting pushed aside. Alliance want to be in the conversation again.
And moving through on this side, Weibo now officially down to 1 player. It's sort of where you just hope for the commits here from the teams a little bit more. But I think that this is the one instance where I can sort of excuse it, where they do just want the high value play. They went for the 3-1. It's not bad. They just lose the fight.
Olio wants to clear this one out. A scrap in the prison yard is still going. It's the lawman to stand for Influence Rage. Trying to keep all the prisoners in check. Gets a nade over towards Ragnarok as well. In the meantime, Diego flushed away. Geekay proving to be troublesome, taking down his 2 teammates there. The next zone closes dead central. Blank, I think it's just up on the high ground ridgelines, if I'm not mistaken. It is pretty close, though. A little evil severance on that circle. And there's 2 fights that matter. The top and the bottom. Influence Rage getting far into this match is huge. And in a circle. Sneaky. IQ spotted. I think that's Geekay. Yeah, he's done for. No, hang on a minute. It's Alliance from the high ground.
For 33Z, basically, he needs a top 3. It'd be hard to do, though, especially from his position. He's getting pushed in. And he's down now. So Weibo go out in 6, so not a whole lot of placement points found. So it doesn't shove them further up the tables than they quite like. Nice Globen, though. 10 elims, but in 14.
Alliance, though, 10 elims in 9th on 51 points, getting the placement points already. It's going to put them within striking distance, but their move off of this hilltop is dangerous. It's dastardly. Law is swept aside in the prison, and Geeke going to try and hide underneath this one. There's a potential for it to actually close with the overhang. Alliance are getting pushed aside now. In 3rd place, they'll get a lot of points and they may be able to make a little bit of a bid for freedom. This was the last game the teams had a chance to make it up, and maybe Alliance have done enough. 9Z Globen wanting to find Geeke, but is it central for them? No, I don't think so. Geeke may be looking to deny the points, but for 9Z Globen, I mean, it is still too little too late, right?
Right? Yeah,
right?
Maybe. I don't think 9Z. I personally don't think 9Z Globen's getting another big game. Personally, Safji should be going down next. Should be. I don't think they have 2 more nades to work with. They're trying to isolate the angle. I think it's tough though.
Needs to step out of the blue. He's taking damage. The burst on the top. They're going. He's going over the top. No way. Geeke. What are they doing? They had the center of the circle. Blank. 9Z Globen lemming themselves off the edge. And Geeke, I mean, they're all smiles. They sent it into the prison early. Blank, you hated the play. But it was a prison win coming out for Geeke. Why did they do that? This is the team that took down Weibo, by the way. Who do they think they are? Stop it. Misbehaving. 9Z Globen, I mean, hang your heads in shame. That's right. You should be unhappy with that.
Yeah, that was something. That was definitely something. Really, can we just pay some respects to that team, please? That was, yeah, I don't even want to talk about it. There's been so many weird maneuvers throughout Last Chance. I'm more in my mind. Well played, Geeke. Incredible shots from the UMP. Well done.
I mean, crazy. Geeke went in early to the prison. They never had to leave. They were able to take a chicken dinner. I don't even know. Desk, tell me something that to keep me sane.
Here, guys. What is going on here? First of all, prison finish. Awesome. Now, 9Z, I saw this play. All right. I was like, all right, cool. They get Kevin. Maybe they jump down, try to get the last elimination. And then we just saw them fly off the top rope and 2nd place finish. When I saw that, I was like, all right, 9Z, they just had a pop-off game. They're feeling good. They're just doing this for the memes at this point. Ooh. But then I saw the player cams with all their heads down in disappointment. So it looked like this was not intentional at all.
Why would you do this? Oh, no. I can't do anything but laugh at play like that. It's just so...
9Z, you know what? I give you an award for the throw of the decade.
No.
Not the year, the decade. That is how big a throw we just witnessed. But you know what? It's really good. Safji able to use a bit of that ridge that was digging inside the terrain, right? So actually put him a little bit closer to the center of the circle. But I can tell you, I cannot wait for the Pin Pundri edit on YouTube. That is going to be memed to oblivion. That is going to be great.
Max, okay, so if I put my analyst cap on, right, this is just another classic example of why you don't push 1 by 1. If you're gonna jump off the cliff to try and get the one dude, at least do it as a trio. Why are we going 1 by... Oh my god, it just... So many notes, so much anger, madness, all of it, Jukes.
I had so many notes for this game. I'm not gonna lie, when it finished like that, I forgot everything I was gonna talk about.
Yes!
like, what happened?
Oh, nothing else matters.
Look
at this.
I know this is fun to look at because Loops, pretty sure that was a targeted play. They know this is Ultra Ego planning craze. They're trying to chase them down because Ultra Ego, of course, top contender currently for the top 2 ranks in the grand finals. But DK, I think they would just look into third party and get some prelims, and actually they were able to do just that.
Yeah, I agree with you on that point, Max. I think GK were just looking for a cheeky third party that worked out for them, and that they were really respectful against Loops actually to just move into circle instead rather than trying to hold out fight, because the crates get so sticky. I mean, you could be there for half the game if you're not careful, Jake. So I don't mind that play from them. But for me, Alter Ego, maybe time to find a new drop spot for this last Erangel, because 2 out of 2 Erangels so far have been hot dropped on.
It's about time, though. It's about time we see teams get targeted here, because why not? If you're really trying to make something happen, you gotta shut down the top squads. I don't necessarily fully agree on that GK, you know, we're being respectful of Loops. We'll talk about that later as we get to this end game, because Prison Circle here towards the end, Weibo looked in such control and then lose it out right there towards the finish, Max.
They were in full control, Hodrix, exactly, until they said, how about we start playing splits and play bad, and they did do just that. It was very unfortunate. Oh, that nade, didn't even see it through the open roof in Prison itself. It's so fun to see a Prison finish. You don't see it very often, and the layout of this area is so different compared to anything else Erangel has to offer, so I really love it. But yeah, I mean, GG. I was going to say 90 Global, but no, they didn't win it. GK, that's how I still can't believe that happened here as you go over these rotations. And we're going to be able to see that, as always, Weibo, going Saverni, Northern rotation, and able to make it towards the late game.
That's really interesting that they're in Saverni, actually, because we're going to see this massive rotation. They go all the way down to Milta Power in this next zone, right? They go all the way down here. You'll see them move now. They were right next to Inner Circle, I think it was, who also had a 2-2 split there. And then they go right up to Lipovka. Really quick rotation coming through from them. You see, gosh, 9Z have another big rotation. I mean, that just goes to show you how crazy this zone is, right? Because no one was expecting it to go here. So you've got teams going, okay, we got to pull something out of the bag here. We got to go right the way around. But Max, it's this final zone here. I really loved how WBG were playing this. Weibo had a fantastic, I love this split coming in from them, right? Just to hold off the teams on the south side. And then they got cocky. They went, hey, we're going to push 3 onto 9Z and lose and completely ruin the game. And that sounds like the best plan going forward.
It's so odd because they go from the split you're talking about, the southern one, such a good split, a respectful split. They play it very well against those southern teams. And then they go for a very ego-driven split. They're like, oh yeah, we can afford to go for this 3-1 split, but you got a very nadeable dip, and 9Z Globen instantly punish that. But they get punished after that, 9Z Globen, because of that fall off the cliff. So yeah, 20 points still good up to 9Z Globen. Very good control on the outskirts of Prison itself, and GK get 19. I wonder how, if they even know what the hell happened there. They're like, I just won. I don't know what to tell you. I just worked out.
Yeah. I don't know. I almost want to say
at the end. That was crazy.
Yeah, it was insane. I almost want to say that Weibo should have taken a page out of their own book of the group stage, right, when they were being super respectful and not pushing too far. But I'm just saying, guys. But we look over on the second half. Inner Circle again, 1 point on the board. Burmese Bulls not having the day we saw yesterday, right?
Yeah, true. I mean, I'm looking at Alter Ego too, getting 1 point. So Inner Circle, Alter Ego, falling off. Burmese Ghouls, as you said, like also losing a little bit of momentum after that initial day in the last chance stage. So quite unfortunate. Saf G though. GG, our MVP, the last survivor of GK of the entire game, in fact. Oh, I really cannot wait for the meme. Sorry, I know we should be analyzing and stuff, but you just know there's so much potential there, Hodge. So much.
It's so crazy because when I saw that play, I was like, oh, they realized that we're not making it. Let's just jump and have fun. But Weibo moved to the top. 85 total points. That consistency. They're putting up points like crazy here. So they're set up really good going into the rest of the day, Max, man. And with 85 points, that's going to feel pretty comfortable.
They're playing the top 4 musical chairs right now. They're just like, I'm first. No, you're second. I'm third. You're fourth. I'm first. I'm second. It keeps intertwining and changing between these 4 teams in particular. And currently, there's still a little bit of a gap created in Iptra of 9 points between Flash and Influence Rage.
Yeah, really, really good to see. I can't wait for our last Erangel Jukes. I think it's going to shake things up a lot.
It definitely is, guys. Guys, get your drinks, get your popcorn ready. We got the rest of the last chance coming up right after this short break.
Niruhte Sanjen.
Миний тэгэхээр оруулаад хүрээдэг үү зэн.
Kana.
Ano?
За юу вэ нэ?
Эндо зэфигэжин. Юу юм?
Тийгээс финал хайрхийг авсан.
Тийм үү. Эс монтэй.
Авраг авч идэв. Тийгээс
баярлалаа.
баярлалаа. Я 3 удаа яг ногоон бүрэлдэхүүн авсан.
Дараагийн хэмжээний хэрэг.
Финал нь 12-наас 14-ний хооронд. Niruhte Sanjen.
Миний тэгэхээр оруулаад хүрээдэг үү зэн. Ихтэй шүү за.
За хайртай шүү.
Амжилт.
За. Баяртай.
3 matches remain until we find out the final 2 teams that are going to be joining the rest of the squads in grand finals of the 2025 PMGC. I'm joined by Diego from Inference Ridge. Your squad, with just 3 matches remaining, you're only 14 points away from top 2. Going into the next 3 matches, what can this team do to just make sure you do enough to get in the top 2?
Então, indo para essas últimas 3 partidas, vocês estão ali com 14 pontos de diferença para o segundo lugar. E o que vocês vão adotar para essas últimas partidas? Questão de estratégia?
Acho que não tem muito que mudar de estratégia, só ajeitar nossa teamfight, porque pecamos em 2 quedas sobre teamfight. Porém, é continuar fazendo nosso jogo com uma boa mentalidade e é isso. Foco em passar para a grande final.
We're gonna maintain the same strategy, but we're gonna try to get more team fights, to be better in the team fights. I think that's what sliding us down a little bit is the team fights, but we're gonna be strong for the next 3 games.
Eliminations and I guess timing is the major factor for it, and something to keep out that I want to let the audience know has to do those teams that got absolutely nothing to lose. You already got J&G gatekeeping teams on the bridge in Erangel, and the squad from Falcons was telling me we might see the biggest comeback ever because that team is playing like they got nothing to lose. Let's see what they can do in the final 3 matches.
That's right. Nothing to lose, man. There's a lot of teams here that need to pull something out big if they want to make it into that top 2. Now, looking at the leaderboards, guys, we got quite a few squads that are in that 50-point range, right? And we'll talk about that in a second because we got to give some love, of course, to the Infinix GT30 series, the official gaming phone of PMGC 2025. Engineered for precision, performance, and victory, empowering every gamer to hashtag be the one and outplay the rest on the global stage. So big thank you to Infinix. We got the last 3 games to go, last Erangel, Max. So actually, I got a question for both of y'all, right? I would like both of you guys to pick a 50-point team, all right? Which team do you feel has the potential to make that push back towards the top 2? Right? And what do they need to do in order to get there? Max, I'll start with you.
Oh, I'm going to go Wolves Esports. I think the Wolves Esports have been looking really good in the past. Not the best day for them, unfortunately. The main issue we saw on the Rangarai is not going for these big game-winning positions, just trying to survive, and unfortunately kind of shuts down their later stage potential to rotate. And in this case, 90 kind of did what I was hoping Wolves would do that previous game, which is just leave that western cliff because it was going east of prison, and unfortunately they don't do that and they get caught in the midst of that rotation. So I think Wolves can make it if they do that one adaptation in their next 3 matches of the day.
Oh, that's interesting. I think they need to up that aggression.
No.
I don't know. I see them getting positions and they're just not hitting those fights. What do you think, Naftara?
No, I kind of agree with both of you. I really like the macro that we're seeing. I like that we're seeing them further into the game as well. We're seeing them more often in the late game, but I do agree the aggression just isn't there for me, particularly in this game, right? We were talking about they just made the full send play to the shack, and it's not very aggressive. It's kind of desperate. I'd like to see more of that thought process being put into those micro movements, into the aggression. So for me, yeah, Wolves could definitely do it if they make those changes. So I kind of agree with both of you on that front. For me, though, if I had to pick a team, I'm going to go with the Burmese Ghouls, because for me, they've been such a great team. They've been such a confident team, like we've been talking about, right? We saw such a different side to them yesterday, but today they've been so quiet. It's like they're in the Gauntlet, or the group stage rather, all over again. Like it's like day one for them, and I really hope that we can see them come back and come back stronger the way we've seen them before, because when they play like they did yesterday, they're a really good team, but they're just not being the team that we saw yesterday today, and I need to see that from them again.
I fully agree. I think all that confidence we've seen them build up throughout the course of this PMGC 2025 season has just kind of fizzled out today. It's very odd to see. We're not seeing that confidence anymore in these games, and they could still bring it back. There's some hope there, but unfortunately, when you lose that steam, the Burmese Ghouls don't stand out to me as a squad that, on a dime, they can instantly get back in the zone and get back in the mood. So I feel like they lost the steam here, Hodrix, and I don't think they're going to get it back. I know it's a bit brutal, but I just don't see it happening currently with what we've seen on a bigger scale of this squad.
Oh. And these, I'm looking at those last two Miramars with dread, because it's going to be so difficult for a lot of these squads. I think a lot of them are going to realize that it's over at this point, right? With all these 50-point teams, they need to win this Erangel. And honestly, they don't need that. They also need to find a way to stop Weibo from getting any more points. We saw some targeting in the last match with Loops. Do you think we're going to see it again here, Max?
Well, I think we could. I think Loops are hungry to initiate that ascent in the top 2, and they're going to try and secure that position. Maybe this game, depending on how things go, they could definitely make it happen. They're currently in 6th position, 57 points. One banger chicken dinner, Hot Jukes, and maybe we could see another America's team here make a push towards that top position.
Well, we heard Seven say the Falcons were looking to make a historic run. They're going to have to stop one of the top teams as well. Let's see what happens. Will these teams take fate into their own hands? Final Erangel of the day. Max, let's see what happens here.
Man, the nerves are getting to people now. 90 Globe and throw themselves from the top of a cliff and crash down at the feet of Geeky. Two teams who, frankly, don't really have a chance to jump up towards the top spots. So those final moments, not inconsequential, but certainly aren't going to affect those top 2 spots right now. Weibo able to establish a little bit of a lead, but again, it seems like maybe it's getting to them too.
It's only a small amount of a lead. I think that the 3-1 split was not bad. I think I would have preferred the 4-man push there. But again, they were trying to account for so many scenarios where potentially Alliance pushes out. I think if they knew it was Alliance, they probably would have gone for the 4-man push, because they would have realized Alliance is unlikely to push that. I think Alliance is a bit more of a passive team. But again, it's what you do now that really counts. But I think for Weibo, it was okay. It was okay. It was just they got outplayed. Realistically, they did just get outplayed on that northern edge by 9Z. It looked close. It did look close. In the meantime, nice playing path from the west to the east on Lipovka. We're going to have a stage report soon from 7, catching up with some of our players, or just going over how the day's gone and what he's been observing.
Yeah, I think that's more likely. Probably not wanting, 9CG definitely not wanting to talk to him after that game. They will have pushed him out of their booth as fast as they can. Weibo, of course, had a little bit more of an option. A little bit more of a chance, potentially. But, then again, threw themselves at 9CG. I suppose 9CG were like, well, you know what? You know, fair enough. Like, we got these points because, you know, Weibo basically allowed us to have them, right? So it's only fair that we donate them back to the lobby. So they weren't losing their points so much as giving the points that they'd been given forwards. And, you know, if it isn't the season of giving, then I don't know what that was about. Because, yeah, absolutely crazy. GK, though, they're hoping that they can do it again.
Alter Ego, they switch away from the western side. They're going to drop over towards Lipovka this time around, go for the Lipovka split. So 2 players in Lipovka will play down towards Prison, and then another player up towards Mansion side to get away from all the action that's been occurring on that northwest edge, which I think is completely fair to those guys, all things considered. EK in their hovercraft. moving over towards Sosnovka to start in Novorepnoye nice and early. Also grabbing hovercraft, very useful for them, at least in this early game. I think it towards the late game, even better.
At the moment, a tiebreaker for Alter Ego on that bubble. Second place, but only just by the skin of their teeth. A lot of teams left to go. We're heading over to the stage. Seven has the report. He's got the lowdown. He's got the goods. Let's see what he's found out.
Welcome to a quick report with the 7WG. I heard the devs wondering what happened between Alter Ego and Loops. Wondering if Alter Ego was maybe hot dropping them or if Loops was hot dropping them. It turned out to be just something with the rotations that they were doing. Those teams are going to be looking to make sure they don't end up with the same rotation once again.
There we go. A little bit of info on the team's rotations there coming through from Seven. Fantastic stuff. Getting that lowdown. The inside scoop coming on through. Beautiful stuff. Maybe more context, and that's a good thing.
Yeah, I mean, context is always nice, and I mean, it does make sense here. With Alter Ego moving over towards that eastern side, they have definitely ensured that that doesn't happen again, purely because they're nowhere near Loops here in the future. Loops didn't really change all that much, to be honest. I think it's more on Alter Ego here to make that change, which is fair enough. For Loops, they can keep barreling it down in South George. For Alter Ego, it makes all the more of a difference considering they are in that top two right now. I wouldn't personally want to leave it up to chance, and neither does Alter Ego. But the circle does head over towards our western side. It cuts in a little bit of Sosnovka. There's always that world where it could head down there. Highly doubt it, though. In the meantime, most teams will be preparing for a fields finish or over towards Quarry side in Primorsk. So you're getting a lot of these wide splits in areas where it's sort of feasible to do so. There's a lot of little compounds here and there that are available to be picked up that you can sit in and at least have some oversight of what happens around you in the circle. Getting that scouting done early, very important. Curious to see how Inner Circle deals with this. Because GK are on their eastern side now. They are not alone in Sosnovka. See how quickly GK does want to leave if they want to gatekeep on that side. Inner Circle, honestly, I am curious. I don't know what they're going to go for.
It's always a gamble. It's always a risk. They're on 54 points now, blank. And I said maybe it wasn't super consequential, but actually, you know, maybe they can do it, you know? Maybe GK can make it in. It's very unlikely.
There's been a lot of teams really pushing for points. I think that you're right that GK could do it, but to think that if you asked any one of us here on the broadcast if we think GK is going to be in top two, I think we'd say no. Regardless, they're giving it a good shot, giving it a good go. Arcred finding shots over towards Gen G, who are down the southwest side, helping out, honestly, in a circle, who probably could make that rotate now that they've lost 3 players. But that would require Inner Circle to... There's a lot of mind games here, because now Inner Circle will have to be very brazen and make the Western Bridge crossing again. But this time it is easier, but they don't know that.
I mean, that is true. Potentially a little bit more, a little bit softer. Looking at the record so far today, the first 2 matches, right? It feels like more than 2 matches, to be honest. I feel like I've aged about 5 years after watching those last 2 matches. But GK, they're feeling pretty youthful right now because they got 3rd place and 12 elims, followed by obviously the chicken dinner that we saw, and they got 9 elims for it. This is a massive, massive climb for them, right? The question is rate and consistency here. And GK haven't really shown that before, and we're hoping they'll be able to do so here. And speaking of consistency, Alter Ego looking to try and stay consistent up in the top spot.